All right, so I think the stream thinking about things ready to go though. So hello everybody, Megazord X here, back at it again to give you another very exciting podcast episode. That being my ZardCast episode 66. I do apologize because I should have been here 2 weeks ago with this episode though, but lo and behold, things just couldn't turn to be that way. I don't know. Something popped up. I think I no. I took that stupid old COVID shot, and that thing put me down under. I was ready to go for this podcast, and that put me down. And I was like, "What the heck, though?" But it won't be me alone here tonight. I got my good buddy over here, Steven. How's it going, man?
It's going good.
Alrighty, man. Now it's been a while since I heard from you. I felt like it's been, or at least on a voice call or whatever. Though I felt like it's been like has it been a month? I think it's been a month.
It's probably been a month. It's really not felt that long because I went on, at least for me, I work has been really boring. And I don't mean like the boring where it's like really bad. I mean the boring where it just everything at work goes well and there's no issues. So it's just go to work, go home. Like I haven't
Mhm.
had many issues pop up, but it's just been a very like, it's gone by fast.
No, yeah, and especially once you get to this time of the season where it's like you get caught up in the holiday season, and then if you're caught up working as well, time just kind of runs away from you. So no, I
Yeah.
get that. Yeah, that
I've
makes a
just
lot of
been
sense.
I've kind of just been trying to save money because after I buy Mario RPG, I think I'm just saving for Christmas expenses. And
Oh
that's
shoot.
literally it.
Yep. Yeah,
And
gotta get that saving
until
going.
yeah, and until then, it's not much else.
Whew, I guess in terms of stuff I've been going with, not a whole lot of too much. I had a little bit more time on my hands than I normally would, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad though, but it
Yeah.
allows me to kind of focus in and do some other things though. So it's not too bad. I've been
Yeah.
enjoying the extra time I've been having though, but not too much outside of that. Just been preparing a bunch of videos for y'all because with the holiday season and whatnot though, I got some things in the work. I got some things in the work. Some things obviously for stuff that y'all gonna see for the rest of this year and then scheduling and getting people on with the podcast and stuff like that. Some old traditions and some videos I usually do around this time of year and stuff. And then even planning into the new year, all right, I always kind of do some kind of tweaks or some changes here and there, though. So I already got some of that kind of spinning in the back of my mind. So this is like my busy time of the season. Rest assured, it's my busy time of the season. Try to wrap most things up before just taking December off and being a little easy because I got most of my work done. But that's been it on my side of things, though. But we might as well go ahead and jump up in it because I know we got some interesting topics. I had to make up for some stuff from the past episode I should have been here for, along with some new stuff that just recently got announced within this past week or two, though. So should be a good one with my good buddy Steven. Should be a good one though. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight up into that culture segment. All right, so that writer's strike is finally over for the whole movie industry in general. I don't know if you must have heard about this mess, Steven, because this is the reason why almost every single movie either got either post delayed, pushed back, no release date in the foreseeable future. This right here has done messed up my Spider-Man movie for the Spider-Verse things. Like I saw that movie in theaters. You saw that one in theaters, right, Steven?
Yes, I did.
No, yeah, that was a hit film. I was really looking forward to seeing that film. Should be coming out next year, but then all of this stuff happened. Good cause though,
Yeah.
because I do agree
Well,
with the notion behind it. It's important.
the way I see it, I waited 5 years in between the two Spider-Verse movies already. So even if we have to wait a little bit longer for the last one, as long as it ends up being good, then it's fine. You
No,
know?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I
that's
like
the
I do
important
think
thing.
here's the thing. Across the Spider-Verse does suffer from the problem of being a little bit too dependent on its follow-up movie to like complete the story. But if that follow-up story is good, then Across the Spider-Verse is going to be hailed as like one of the best like pieces of one of the best like well no, just the Spider-Verse trilogy is going to be hailed as one of the best trilogies ever. which I
Or
think
especially on the
it
animation
has the
side, is that what you're
potential.
thinking?
Well, yeah, I think it will definitely be the best Spider-Man trilogy once this is over. But we
Mm,
gotta see.
it
This,
could be, because the way
ah,
how they're handling Miles's character, that is something I've been, like, really intrigued to kinda see how it all plays out. Like, he got me to feel quite a bit in that recent movie that we saw. So, it's not gonna take too much in this last movie where I could be like, "Hey, this might be my favorite form of Spider-Man," even, overtaking, the Peter Parker variant that we've known for several years now, ever since I was little. And that's just saying something. I don't know. They just
yeah.
had some really good writing behind this
Oh
character.
yeah, like Miles Morales from Spider-Verse, and then specifically Peter Parker from the Spider-Man PS4 and PS5 games is probably my favorite version of each character.
No,
Like
yeah.
Miles Morales in like the Insomniac games, he's fine. Like whatever. At least because by the way, I have not played Spider-Man 2 yet, but I
Oh, you
have
had?
it.
Oh, okay,
I
okay,
bought
okay.
it. I have bought it. So they've already gotten what they wanted from me, my money.
And that's
But
that's all they care about. Well, that and you
that is
playing it
all.
to spread the word and make like two more people
Yeah,
buy it.
and I really liked the first one, and I liked Miles Morales a lot, so I guarantee I will love the game. But until then, Miles Morales was just okay as a character.
Yeah. So
But no,
overall, I,
yeah,
I I would say that I'm glad that the strike is over. I'm glad that these workers are getting paid and compensated, at least for the small interim. I don't know how long this contract goes up until. I feel like it's like a 2-year contract or something like that. But literally, the second that this strike has went down, then we start getting all of these movie release dates. I'll talk about the Marvel stuff when I get to the
yeah.
Marvel segment, though. But like even for like movies like Kingdom of Planet of the Apes, and I think there was like a Mission
Yeah.
Impossible movie and all of these movies are
Ghostbusters
now.
got a trailer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that new one too. Yeah.
It
I hope
that it
those.
looks it looks
I don't know if I
generic.
even
I
saw
don't.
that trailer yet. What the heck?
It looks generic. I don't really care for
Hmm.
Ghostbusters, honestly. It's got ice. Ooh, it's called like Frozen Empire. It's called.
Huh. Okay.
I don't know.
I
But
need I
yeah,
need to
no.
check that out. I need to check it out.
That yeah, everything's either being delayed or announced because I'm assuming maybe because they already had actors tied to the projects that like I think it like this. I think legally, whenever Disney like references a certain movie, they have to like say like who the lead is. Because
Oh,
like
is
that
that a
movie,
law?
what I don't know, maybe because you know that movie, that Pixar movie, like Elio or whatever, it got delayed a whole year.
Elio. Oh, I
It's like
think. Yeah.
yeah, there's a Pixar movie that was supposed to be coming June 2024. It is now coming June 2025.
Dang.
I don't know what the fuck happened over there. Like, I think Disney has to I think the funny part about these strikes is that obviously the actual workers, the people in the middle class are getting their deals. Like people that deserve to be making more money are getting more money, while companies are panicking.
No, yeah, and then it doesn't help when they're trying to mess with the AI stuff to simplify
But
or
yeah,
save a
no,
buck or
they
two, and yeah.
see. I think this is an objectively good thing because it's gonna put AI in check for a couple years. Anytime that they think that they can replace actors, look what they did to them.
Mhm.
Like, look what the actors just did to them in like only a couple months. Let's be honest, they lost a lot of money.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
I remember like they could for like the red carpets for these games for these movies, they couldn't have any of the actual actors show up. For Marvel movies, which not a lot came out during the strike, the actors were not allowed to promote it at all,
Oof.
right? Like I don't
I
think
think yeah, because it felt like more the social media posts. Like usually they'll say something on their socials, like Twitter or something like X. I hate that name. But they usually will say
yeah.
something on there, and then like like for example, the MCU films or that Twitter account, they'll just go through and retweet it. I don't think I've seen anything like that until recently with the Loki season 2 finale, which we'll talk about that when we get there, though. But since yeah, now that you mention it, it's something I hadn't noticed it until you brought it to my attention. But yeah.
It's interesting.
But yeah, so we're just glad that it's over. It means we can get our movies back for the time being. because there's some good things in the works, some things I really want to see though. But I'm glad we're able to reach a conclusion at least for the time being. But
Yeah,
that's pretty much. Oh, what were
it
you about
just
to say?
really I was just gonna say it really does expose specifically Disney's like need to just constantly produce. Like they announced like a Lion King spin-off, like
Oh, the
something like that.
Mufasa thing.
Which that just no, I'm not a fan of that. It
I said
doesn't.
I told someone else, one of my other buddies, I was like, "Hey, when that movie comes out, I'm literally gonna I'm not gonna see it in theaters, obviously." The first Lion King, I was like, it was okay. It wasn't great and it wasn't terrible. It's just so in the middle of the road, more so because of the fact that when you look at the original, you know how
Yeah,
colorful and vibrant that was and stuff. And it's like they call it live action with that particular movie, even though all those animals are CG. So can you really call that live act?
it
I
is
don't
an
know.
listen. It is an entirely animated movie. All the
So I don't
lighting,
know
all
why
of
they
the
give it that term
environments.
of live action. I don't get it.
It's marketing. It's a lie, is what it is.
I guess because they needed to categorize it with all the other live
Yeah,
action stuff that's actual live
yeah,
action, like the Beauty and the Beast thing and the
yeah.
what
And
Maleficent and all of that. Yeah.
small little lies like that are how these companies were even able to make stuff during the strike. Like, there was a lot more companies just re-releasing old movies to get content out there. Like how Disney brought like the some of the Spider-Man movies on the Disney Plus, stuff like that. Just trying to peddle out as much content as they can until this was over.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That was true.
Because everyone says, oh, you just replace all these actors with AI, but I'm pretty sure big actors are half the reason why these movies do well sometimes.
No, for
Like
sure. Yeah, for
Like
sure. Because
Disney makes so much more money just by having like someone like Dwayne Johnson in their movie compared to if they didn't.
no, yeah, no, especially with that because I know, and since you brought up The Rock, the fact that what was it the big film that he was trying to promote, was that like a year or two ago, Black
Black
Adam.
Adam,
Yeah,
yeah,
I wouldn't have even gave a second look to that movie had it not been for him being up in it. I still
exactly.
hadn't seen it, but
I
it
don't think
caused me
it's
to kind of keep an eye on it.
yeah. I haven't heard necessarily great things about it, but it doesn't even matter because the DC universe was reset after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a big like weird like middle ground where nothing. It's gonna be like how COVID kind of caused like a big divide where there was no new stuff for like a year. Like all these
Yeah,
companies are now gonna have to catch up to this. A
yeah,
bunch
because
of
it didn't
project,
help when you had COVID, which was yeah, that's literally 3 years ago, and we kind of
yeah,
had it experienced it for 2020 and 2021. So if you count back to 2021, that was technically 2 years ago. So yeah, you do
yeah,
that, then you get these writer strikes and all of this stuff.
you
I
haven't
can't say
really
how
had a
many times we push back movies when in the MCU projects and stuff. Like my goodness.
yeah. The people on top are losing more money than they ever have. It's kind of funny.
Oh, how the tables have turned.
Yeah, that's what they get for like even thinking about replacing people with AI and NFTs and scamming anyone they can.
Yeah, so I guess that's pretty much it in terms of that. I felt like it was pretty important to at least go ahead and
It was
discuss that.
very important. Yeah,
But speaking of film related stuff, we'll talk about something on more on the positive side of things, or at least until maybe Nintendo takes it down. Because apparently there was somebody that made a fan made Castletown film and they're gonna try to drop it out, I guess, on YouTube or something at some point. It's literally like, which I know you saw Sonic Youth show off like those Studio Ghibli movies to you, man, but
I've
it's
watched a
literally in
couple.
that
Yeah,
avenue in terms of like the art style and the animation and stuff for it though. And it looks pretty good, I ain't gonna lie. Have you seen this?
I have seen a little bit of it. Like, I don't know. At first, I thought it looked a little weird. Like I was like, okay, like with how like rough it is, I was thinking, oh, is this by any chance like AI generated or something stupid like that? With just how like the faces looked. But like the more I looked at it, I don't think that's what this is.
No, especially since it's fan made. I'm like, I don't think they would have. Well, maybe not
No,
easily
no,
been
no.
able to pull that
Either,
off.
who fucking whatever like trickery they did to make it look like how it does, it looks pretty good. Like obviously, like the frame by frame animation, it's definitely nice stylization. I like it. It does
Oh
a pretty
yeah,
good job at looking like a Ghibli movie in 3D, I guess. Better than the actual Ghibli movie in 3D.
yeah. And if any of y'all is listening to this podcast, if you wanted to see what it looks like, you can literally just look up Legend of Zelda fan made Legend of Zelda fan made video Castle Town. You say something on the lines of that, and you'll get brought over to either like a YouTube little short little thing or Twitter thing. Which the
They
only
just
unfortunate thing is it's actually they're trying to release it November 21st. I just looked at that now,
is
which is
this gonna be
actually
a full short? Like
I feel
how
like it's
long
gonna
would
be
they
a
say?
short. It can't be like a full blown movie,
Of course not.
but
It's gonna be like 5 minutes, I bet. It was made using Unreal Engine 5, so it's
yeah.
relatively recent.
So the second that sucker drops out, I recommend going up on there, downloading the mess out of that, so that way you can everybody can hold on to it. It might exist on Twitter or something like that because I know Nintendo's going to come out here and especially given the new brand new announcement they
That's
just managed to say,
no,
which we'll talk about that
they're
when
not.
we get there though. But I feel like knowing Nintendo and how their ninjas operate, I just feel like it ain't gonna bode well for this, even
No,
though it's probably
they
gonna be really
literally
good.
no, they literally can't do anything about this, Zard. Remember that one Majora's Mask video? Like the really nice looking one called like Terrible Fate, I think it was called.
Mm, it
It
sounds
was
familiar.
it was produced by the same people that went on to work on Kenna Bridge of Spirits.
Hmm.
It was you once you see the video, you might remember it. It was like the Happy Mask salesman and like Majora's Mask.
Oh, I think I might have ran across. It's probably been a while since I've seen it, but
It
this is
was
their
a
Happy
very
Mass. Yeah.
beautiful it was a very beautiful video. Everyone was like, "Oh, this is what Zelda games will look like in this year or whatever." But basically, they never did anything about that video.
Hmm. Well,
It's
maybe
because
maybe
I
they'll
don't
leave it
know.
alone. I don't
Like
know.
Nintendo has problems with fan games obviously, but like usually if you create like fan videos, they don't do anything.
Hmm.
It really
Well,
just depends on how they
maybe that's
feel
the
that day.
catch. Make film related stuff, but stay away from
I don't
games.
know. Like I don't know, you don't see anyone that makes like those Mario like I don't know, anyone that does animations get screwed over by this or like Mario reviews.
Yeah. Well, I
I don't
guess
know.
that's basically all we got to say on this one, though. So that's it for most of our pop culture stuff. But there is a couple of Marvel related things that I need to go ahead and bring up because, oh shoot, we managed to get the season finale for Loki season 2. I would ask you this, Steven, but I know your answer. You have not even attempted to watch the season 2 yet, have you?
Hell no. I haven't watched
Gosh
season 1
dang it,
either.
man! You're messing up, man. The one good Disney Plus show that they got or I would say like the S tier if I were to go through and rank all these things though, and you still haven't watched it.
Yeah, I've the MCU. I think I'm checked out after Guardians Volume 3, honestly.
No, you need to go through and watch.
Eventually,
Well, you saw season
I don't
one though,
know.
right? You saw season one, right?
No, I didn't. That's what I
Bro,
said.
okay, so you be blessed
Alright,
to be able to watch
you
both
want to
these
know my
back to back.
plan?
Oh,
My
what's the plan?
plan my plan is that I think Loki is the only actual show I'll watch, and then I'll watch recaps of everything else. Cause like I don't know, like I don't
I wouldn't blame you on that,
like
to be honest.
listen. Like there are shows that I can watch for plot. Like for example, a show like you haven't watched it, but Breaking Bad. Every single episode is serialized. Every single episode moves the story forward. While with these MCU shows, it's not that every single episode moves the main story forward. It's every single episode feels like a movie that they elongated into 6 parts.
Oh
I
yeah,
guess that's my issue.
and I think and I like how you brought that issue up because I mentioned it in one of my past podcasts. The people that are behind making the Disney Plus shows, they come to the realization that yes, that has been an issue for a lot of viewers and fans. Literally taking what should be technically a movie or a movie and a half, with some of the run times on it though, and splitting it up into 6 different parts, that formula
Well,
isn't working as well with some people. So they actually said, I think starting with the Daredevil series onward, they're gonna take more of a traditional TV series form
good.
for it though. So it'll be a lot different approach. You'll have because of the different structure of it, you could get more seasons out of
Yeah.
particular shows that you might really like. Like, for
Yeah.
example, if you remember the old Daredevil series that was on Netflix, like that was good stuff. And it
Well,
was
yeah.
like
Well, that's
traditional
the
TV
same.
series. Yeah.
Well, yeah. That's the MCU right there. I know that they like for a while they like refused to actually like talk about it, but it is MCU, and they have
Yeah, because
once
they're
again
they're doing the same
reestablished
thing
it
with I
as
think
canon
yeah,
to the
they're doing the
MCU.
same thing with Deadpool where it's like, "Oh, we're not gonna do the retelling of it." Kinda like the same way how they did Spider-Man too though, but they're
Especially
they're not retelling it, they're just gonna build upon what they already
no, it's
previously
not. It's
established.
not a retell. It's a retcon. They're just retconning Daredevil back into the MCU when
Yeah.
before they tried to like kind of be coy about it and be like, oh, he's not actually in the MCU, or those shows aren't canon anymore. It was mostly just because they didn't talk about it. It's not that Marvel ever forgot about them. It's just that they stopped the shows. I think in like 2017 they stopped them. I don't remember.
Oh, they stopped it sometime at season 3 or whatever. I can't remember what year it was, but the
Yeah,
good thing is you can watch them all on Disney Plus right now. I probably will when we get closer to him having like a bigger role in the MCU outside of like some cameo, whatever you want to call it, in She-Hulk. And that show was trash.
yeah. I
But
know people
instead of
like
just
She-Hulk a
that,
lot.
yeah, I'll probably go back and rewatch some of it because that was a good series right there,
Yeah.
man.
And I know a lot of people are actually interested in Echo, which is coming out.
Now that's
Which,
that's the funny thing about Echo. Echo was supposed to come out in November, but I think because of the writer's strikes, it got pushed back, and it's actually dropping out in is it February, if I
yeah.
remember right? It's early
Well,
next year.
I think it's a good thing because like I think having these things get delayed is a good way of maybe letting these studios think about things more. Like I don't know if you've seen this, but like the Blade movie went through a lot of weird like script changes.
No, and it's not even just that movie. It's also the fact of I think even the Captain America movie, which was supposed to come out around May
Yeah.
of next year, they had like pre-screenings for these movies and shows and stuff where they show it to limited audiences and see what they kind of think. And I guess it got some really tough criticism to the point where they're actually going back and refilming stuff. So that's the reason why it got delayed a whole year and it's not coming out until like 2025.
My question is how the hell did like nothing else from phase 4 of the MCU get this exact same treatment?
Well, it was because of I guess because of the you can't say success, but because of the results of these movies and shows and what they did in phase 4, they saw it and realized it, and now they're like, well, now that we're in a brand new phase, let's go ahead and implement all the changes now because of how vocal some people were with
Yeah.
phase 4. And it's a good
Yeah.
point for them to put the changes now because I imagine because of the planning and some of the stuff that you're doing within phase 4 movies and stuff, it would have been harder to reverse some of those things versus a whole new phase. Maybe, I don't
I
know,
just
business wise or whatever.
I I just think they did not think about it nearly as much as they thought about phases 1 through 3. Like they had a
No,
plan.
definitely so. Because I
They
think Kevin Feige was a good prime example of kind of keeping the connective tissue between everything, where everything felt important for their individual stories,
Yeah, but
but you
he's
could
still
throw like
behind
a
it.
line or two. He still is, but I think he had more of a hands-off approach with phase 4 versus those first 3 phases. It was
I've
him
heard
and
the op
somebody else.
I've heard the opposite. I've
You
heard
heard
that
the
he's had more of
opposite.
a yeah, but especially like in She-Hulk when he shows up as like a robot controlling everything behind the scenes. That just really feels like a fuck you moment to like
Mm.
everyone that actually cares about the MCU more than anything. And then you have but here's the thing, it's obviously not that the MCU is bad because Guardians 3 came out and that movie was fantastic. Like
No, yeah,
I don't
it's
know if
all
you've
about
seen
the
these
writing and the direction and whoever's producing it, really.
yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if you've seen the same criticisms. I've seen a lot of people saying, "Oh, the stakes in the MCU feel too high. It feels like nothing matters anymore." Like people wanted more like street level stuff. You get what I'm saying?
No, yeah, I understand that. Yeah, it
But
makes
like,
sense. Hmm.
but then Guardians Volume 3 came out, and that was a story once again about like saving the whole galaxy, and that movie was great. It felt like it had heart. Like, I don't know, none of the stuff that has come out from the MCU actually feels real. It feels manufactured. What If is the only TV series I actually seen.
No, yeah. Oh, and while we're also talking about TV shows, have you seen the Code Red Lego Marvel Avengers thing yet? I haven't
No,
seen it
did it
yet.
come out?
It actually came out and it flew underneath my radar, and I was like, "Oh shoot!"
It
So I can't
probably
even talk
wasn't
about it in
good.
this podcast, but I need to sit down and watch it.
I don't know. It probably wasn't that good, and it probably was just a basic Lego movie that you've all seen before.
It might have been. I mean, I'm in some Marvel spears, and I hadn't really seen anybody kind of talk about it or say anything. So I guess take what you can from it.
It's just probably a basic Lego movie made to promote whatever Marvel stuff they have coming out next year.
Yeah, and then if
That's
we
just
were
how
to go
Lego does.
ahead and look at like the future release date of stuff, since we're already kind of already halfway talking about it, because of all the restructures and the retakes and stuff, Deadpool 3 that comes out on July 26th is going to be the only Marvel film that's going to release in 2024. Just one.
I am excited for that movie, and that's a fucking good thing. Honestly, good. Less Marvel, the better. Like, you know how many TV shows came out in like 2020 and 2021?
2020,
Okay,
I want to say
2021.
it was only I want to say it was only, oh gosh, why is the name of it slipping from me? But I'm looking at it.
WandaVision?
WandaVision, thank you. I think it came
Yeah,
out on the tail end of 2020, or it was like at
yeah.
the very beginning of 2021. I can't remember. It
Yeah,
was
but
something like that.
that series, as much as people are like divisive on the character development of Wanda, actually mattered. Like, like the events of that series directly led into Doctor Strange too. If you watched WandaVision, you understood that movie a lot more.
Yeah.
That's at least better than like She-Hulk.
Yeah, no, She-Hulk, that has no relevance, and I like
Like
what they
I
did with, Miss Marvel, 'cause Miss Marvel
Yeah,
literally leads straight into, the Marvels, which
I
I
heard
hadn't seen
people
that film
liked
yet. I'll
her.
see it on Tuesday. I'll see it on Tuesday. You
Yeah.
hadn't seen it yet, have or
No, I have not.
okay.
And I don't really plan on seeing it per se, but I will say that out of all of the quote unquote young Avengers, the person playing Miss Marvel definitely is the best actor.
No,
Like, she
she
actually
is.
seems like she's happy to be there. That's the main thing.
I feel like with her character, she plays, especially if you were to look in some of her stuff with the comics and stuff, she's probably the closest character that has that kinda similar synergy to Peter Parker with Spider-Man. Like they kind of run on some similar wavelengths, but obviously drastically different backgrounds. But you can kind of get that down to earth kind of character feeling and vibe from him though. So that's the one thing I really respect with Miss Marvel right there. So I'm kind of curious more so with her character in this movie than probably even Captain Marvel herself. I'll just keep it a buck 50. That's just how I feel
Of
right now. But
course. That's why it's called the Marvels and not Captain Marvel too, because I'm pretty sure they know that people could hardly give a shit about Captain Marvel. None of like they just they it's true obviously, but they killed all of the compelling characters in the MCU.
yeah, for one reason or the other, and
And
then you
then
have to
I
worry about, like, contracts giving up and the fact that,
yeah,
old age, and you rather write them off versus
and
them just unexpectedly just dying or something bad happens to them, and then you have to retcon whatever it is,
yeah,
though,
and
so,
I've
yeah.
and I've been spoiled on it, but I know a lot of people are pissed about the whole stuff with Rhodey and Secret Invasion.
Oh, yeah, what some people and some, what was it, the, I don't know if it was the producers, it was somebody somewhat kinda high up said, "Oh, this character existed by yada, yada, yada." I do not take that at face value. I honestly don't believe it. If you ain't gonna show it within the actual films themselves, nah, I care two pieces of crap about whatever you just say, because otherwise that really messes things up. So I don't know.
What
I
about him being an imposter in like Endgame, for example?
yeah. I
I it's
until they
still kind
actually
of
show something concrete, I am not gonna consider that real. I'm
still
not.
the fact they even opened that door. Why do that?
I don't know. I
Why
honestly do not get it.
Like, I don't it makes no sense. It's confusing, and everything else I've seen, I don't know. I guess it's like the Star Wars conundrum where, like, imagine, have you ever watched Solo, a Star Wars story, or just any Star Wars movie?
I seen some Star Wars movies, well, somewhere between 1 through 6. I'm not
Okay.
really a Star Wars
Wait,
fan,
wait,
but I
wait. Here's
seen
a
1 or couple of those.
better example. Just because it's like an actual. I got. Imagine if like the first Ant-Man movie was split into 6 episodes.
Ugh.
Yeah. See, yeah, that's the reaction I expected. Imagine six like 40-minute episodes about Ant-Man instead of an hour 50-minute movie. It'd be miserable, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no
And then
questions asked on
imagine
that.
and then imagine if they did that and then they did Ant-Man and the Wasp afterwards. And then you were told, "Oh, in order to understand anything about this movie, you would need to go watch this 6-episode series." And it's not like Marvel makes like an edit compilation. They don't make like a super cut. You got to sit through all the fluff and all of the nonsense talking just to get what you actually came for. While in a movie, I don't know. I really like the first Ant-Man movie. I could never see that movie being stretched out that long and actually being interesting.
No, yeah.
Like they
And
would stretch out his whole training for the heist to be a whole episode by itself. It's just one example, but you can apply that to every single movie in the MCU and it would work.
yeah, so I guess and then so yeah, so we know that one movie's coming out. And in terms of 2025, then we're kind of back to the same song and dance and back to normal. So you have like Captain America 4, that's February 14th, and all these are in 2025. Fantastic Four. Let me interested how that one plays out. That's May the 2nd. Then you got Thunderbolts. That would be an interesting one right there. July 25th. And then you have Blade coming out on November 7th. So yeah, so you got those 4 films for 2025, but only the one for 2024. So it's kind of looking like COVID
Thunderbolts.
all over again because I think COVID, what we only had, what was it? Black Widow and I think Eternals. It was only movies I think in 2020, or it may have been
Also,
just that. But yeah, it's kind of similar vibes of COVID.
yeah. The only thing I'm actually interested in the MCU coming up in the immediate future is What If Season 2, which I think is still slated for December, maybe?
Um, I don't know.
Is it? Okay, it
I
is.
feel like
It
some
is.
dates
It
got
will confirm this holiday season, confirmed by them.
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, like talking about Marvel for a while bores me because I really like the MCU, or I should say I liked it. And I rewatched Phase 1 like a month or two ago, and I still like it to this day. Even
Oh
though there's
yeah.
some movies that are boring, like Thor. Like Thor is a boring movie, but like there is stuff to
Whoa,
enjoy in
whoa,
it.
whoa, whoa, whoa! You said Thor is a
The
boring movie.
first
Wait,
one,
the first one?
yeah, I think it's a little
Oh man,
boring.
you're lucky you ain't in front of the
The
Marvel
Asgard
crowd
stuff
because
is boring. The human, like when they get to like Earth and he's like being a funny guy and he's like breaking glasses on the floor, that's a bit more interesting.
that's funny because people unanimously, at least in the Marvel spheres I'm in, if you were to rank all the Thor movies, people would say the second movie is at the very bottom, and people
It
like
is
the
still at
first
the very
movie.
bottom.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
Like, yeah.
okay.
No, the Thor one is boring. Thor 2 just sucks. I skip it.
Mm.
Like see, like imagine if a movie like that was turned into a 6-episode series and it's just dismissible because even to this day you can skip Thor: The Dark World and just like infer, oh, the Reality Stone showed up somewhere else at one point.
Yeah, that's true.
That
That's
that
true.
movie does not matter until Endgame. But yeah, I don't know what Thunderbolts you said is coming out, which boring.
It'd be interesting. I just want to see the characters up in there. I just want to see the
Yeah, I think
characters.
I think that's the only interesting thing. Are they gonna actually pull off like a Suicide Squad with a bunch of interesting
It's
characters that work
basically the
together?
Suicide Squad equivalent, but with Marvel
Yeah.
characters. So that's
Yeah, but the
I'm kind of
issue
interested just to see the
yeah.
characters,
The issue is that Suicide Squad was one of the best DC movies in a while, so I wonder
which
if
is
they could top
weird
it.
because it really shouldn't be, but it's just funny where the
It was
statement.
James Gunn.
Eh,
James Gunn does his magic. Like anything he makes, I really like.
yeah, so I think we got some good movies slated out here, and we've been talking about Marvel a bit longer than what
Uh,
I kind of
yeah.
thought.
A
But
lot of like stuff changing with Marvel. A lot of release dates changing. A lot of projects happening. At least more interesting ones, because like with their TV shows, when one of them gets a second season, you know it's actually kind of decent.
like Loki,
Like I
which you
said,
should
what
watch.
if? Well, yeah, what if was like my favorite. Like it was the only one I actually sat down and watched. I was interested enough, and then Loki is the only one I've considered watching. You
Get to
could not
watching
sit me
Loki
down for
season 2.
She-Hulk if you tried. Yeah.
Wait, what? Oh no,
If
no, no,
if
yeah,
you
no.
I said if you strapped me down to a chair and made me watch She-Hulk, I'd rather kill myself.
No, I would never
It's
do
I'm
that. Holy
yeah.
shoot. No, because that
Yeah.
means I have to sit there with you, and I am not doing that. Not a second
Yeah.
time. No,
Yeah, no. Yeah, I just it's painful.
no. But yeah, so that's it on our Marvel segment stuff. Next podcast episode, I'll give my thoughts and impressions on the latest movie for the
Like
Marvels though.
Marvels.
But
Yeah.
Loki season 2, absolutely great. I can't really say too much about it because you should just watch it. Because obviously, yes, it's going to affect everything else that's happening in MCU forward, though. But in terms of Loki's character growth and development from what he experienced from the very first Thor movie all the way up until now, it was crazy because he was on the actor himself was on the Jimmy Fallon show, and he said, "Yeah, it's like 14 years he put into this character." I was like, "Dang, has it really been almost a decade and a half?" I was like,
Yeah, it's
"Holy shoot!"
20.
But
Well, yeah, when did Thor original come out?
it was like
2010?
yeah, yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah,
'Cause wasn't it the original it was Iron Man, then Captain America, then
no,
Thor,
well, no,
right?
no, no. Iron
Or was
Man,
it
then the Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, then Thor.
Oh, really? Iron
Yeah,
Man 2 came
Captain
Okay.
America was right before the first Avengers movie.
Yeah. Incredible Hulk is like the definition. Like Incredible Hulk feels like something that would have came out in Phase 4, a movie that no one talks about, is not important, and will probably just be retconned later.
Shoot, yeah, probably would have been. I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah. I
that's all we got to say on the Marvel stuff. A lot of good stuff
yeah.
coming. Fingers crossed they can get their dots and T's all lined up and we can get back to the greatness that, the Infinity Saga was. But
Yeah.
yeah, it is what it is. But that's going to basically do it in terms of all of the pop culture stuff. So now we're going to go ahead and switch it over to what's in the gaming news. All right, so we're going to talk about a few little quick things I have up on there. There's probably not going to be a lot of thoughts to them though, but it's just like my little quick news segment things I just want to kind of get out here real quick. So the first thing is we did manage to get a release date for the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC. It's actually going to be scheduled to be coming out in the month of December. So too far out until we'll actually get our hands on and be able to play. It's actually coming out on December 14th. I always thought it was going to be November, December. It was weird how some people were thinking it was going to be 2024, even though I always said
I thought it
myself
was
as I was going
obvious.
to. Yeah, I know. I thought so too, but some people weren't. But yeah, we
I
got that to look forward to.
Yeah. It just would have made sense because I'm pretty sure Crown Tundra for Sword and Shield came out like January or something. I don't know. Whenever it came out, I think it just looked a little too unfinished to be ready that early. But no, it's coming out, and I'm not excited, honestly.
I'm not excited either. It's just like another thing. I'm like, when it comes out, we had to go through this whole thing and experience whatever it is with the story that they're telling on the second half. Maybe the story be a little bit better than what we got
Yeah.
within oh gosh, what was the name of the first part?
Teal Mask.
Teal Mask. Yeah, see, I can't even hardly
Like
recall that.
listen, I haven't even played it and I remember the names for some reason. I'm weird with that.
Yeah, so I think so it might be cool, whatever though. I don't know about some of these characters that are supposed to be like an Elite Four, two, or whatever you want to call them
I
though. I
don't
don't
like how
know.
they look. I don't really
Mm,
I don't know. They're kind of boring designs, honestly.
yeah.
Like
But
except for that one lady, the with the glasses and the uniform.
oh yeah. What about her?
Oh, she's like the best design out of all the new Elite Four members,
Mm,
personally.
okay, okay. I can see it.
But
Uh
and then there's also the well, like the paradox forms, and that's
yeah,
like
now
the
those
only other
paradox
thing.
ones, those will be a little interesting.
A little bit, only a little bit.
But no, the most important thing about this whole entire DLC, which is probably the more intriguing part, is the second you're done with all of this, once you get done with all these tasks and stuff that you're done with, the second you get done with all of that, the interesting thing is this extra bit of story that they're doing back within Area Zero. Now, Area Zero was always the most intriguing part about the whole thing with Scarlet and Violet. So anything else, whether it be lore wise, or maybe there's a whole nother section down there, I'm kind of
Yeah,
intrigued with whatever that is. That's probably the most interesting thing about this, though. But you got to complete both of the other two parts before you can do that.
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so not too much more about that. Just want to kind of report on that quick news. But yeah, we got Scarlet and Violet. That's literally like one of the last Nintendo related things we have that's coming out this year. Um, Coming out in December though. So now, in terms of this other quick news, yes, finally, finally, Steven, finally. We managed to get Mario Party 3 announced and dropped on the NSO. It's about freaking time, Nintendo. What the freak were y'all doing this whole entire time? Yes, I know it took like
I don't know.
a whole entire year too long for us to sit here and twiddle our thumbs on this mess, though. It was like the one last N64 game I really wanted to get that they actually put out on the future releases. I'm glad it's here.
Aren't
I'm glad.
aren't we still missing 1080p snowboarding?
That's the very last game
But
on
like,
that
come on,
document,
that will
and
come in
then we don't know
December.
anything else. I think
It's
they
a
were waiting on that
snowboarding
one to
game.
be December because it was like what you said, a snowboarding game and
Yeah, but why
wintertime
announce it
sales.
in fall 2022? Weird. Nintendo's weird. Why announce it more than a year beforehand? Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure Nintendo fans could make the assumption it was coming. I'm pretty sure I think it's a Nintendo first party.
No, it is.
Yeah, so like most people would have expected it before something like Smash 64. Like, I think that's obvious.
Gosh dang, we still don't have that. What the
We're
freak?
not gonna
Okay.
get it. We're not gonna get it.
We should get it, but you're right. We may not.
No,
Even
you
though
wanna
I don't know.
you wanna know why we're not gonna get it? Cause it's gonna look real embarrassing when that has better online. Nintendo's gonna be
It can't
shaking
be.
in their
It
boots.
can't. It
Yeah,
can't. Quit
yes.
messing with
If
me,
it,
man. It
think
cannot.
about it, will definitely have better online if it comes out. Like, I don't know what's wrong with Smash Ultimate's online, but like, I guarantee it would probably be better.
That's gonna be really sad if it does. Because
Either
nowadays, when I actually do get on Smash Brothers, I don't really have any issues whatsoever. I don't know if it's also
yeah,
because the fact I got like a line, I said a line, a LAN hooked up into my dock itself now, but I don't have any issues with Smash Brothers anymore. I used to whenever
yeah,
everybody was active playing it now, or maybe it's also because like with most fighting games, people hop on the bandwagon, play it for a while, and then play other new things that come out, and the dedicated people stay. So I don't know. It's
yeah.
not as bad as what it was at launch. Boot it up again and see what I'm talking about for anybody listening though. But you'll see what I'm talking about as long as your internet ain't
Yeah.
trash.
It's not that it can't be done correctly. Like, I've been playing Nick All Star Brawl 2 a lot, and that game has amazing online.
Yeah.
Which that's
Uh,
a topic for like later, but amazing online in that game.
oh yeah, and keep on talking about it. I got to do something real quick.
Okay, yeah. So Nick All Star Brawl 2 is a lot better than the first game if you've played it. Better online, better polish overall. Everything looks more life like. not lifelike, but like it's a more alive. It feels like a cartoon fighting game instead of just like a Unity assets thrown together of SpongeBob and you called it a day. It's got a campaign that's like surprisingly longer than I expected, pretty replayable too, and well, no, the mechanics just feel better. Like more stuff that should have been there is now there. It doesn't feel entirely based on being just melee again. Like weird stuff, like there wasn't back airs in the first one,
Mhm.
and there's no voice acting in the first one. All of that is here at launch, and you have, in my opinion, a more interesting roster with like Jimmy Neutron and some more. I was about to say Fire Emblem, more Firebenders for the cast of Avatar coming.
Oh,
We
were
have
you
like
talking about
the
Nick All Stars 2 when I was stepped out
yes,
for a bit?
yes.
Okay,
That's
okay.
I thought that's what you said to keep talking about.
No, I was about to say keep talking about something. Huh, I was about to say because
Yeah,
something popped up, but yeah.
yeah. Nick All Star Brawl 2 is good. They're adding Mr. Krabs as a DLC fighter. He will be my main when he comes out.
What the heck?
It's a very good game actually. And I was very skeptical because I wasted $50 on the first one and only ever played it twice. It was just I don't know. It was
Dang.
fun for like a little while, but like the mechanics were not nearly as polished as they should feel for a $50 experience.
Hmm.
This one's
But yeah.
better in every single way though. I'd recommend honestly.
Okay.
And it will go on sale. It's a licensed game. So yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we kind of deviated from Mario Party 3, but for good reason though. But yeah, honestly, if you hadn't played that game, make sure you go ahead and check that out because that game is freaking phenomenal. I would say
Mario Party 3, yeah.
yeah, it's like one of the best prob it's up there in terms of my favorite Mario Party games. Like
Yeah.
when people were to say
So,
your favorite Mario Party games, I would say 3, I'd say 8,
I
and all the GameCube games are good. Like
so
played 6 with you a little bit, so
yeah,
6 was
I have
cool.
a story about Mario Party 3 actually. Zard.
All right, go ahead and spill.
A couple nights ago, I was playing Mario Party like maybe like a week ago. I was playing Mario Party 3 with some friends and literally I think at the end of the game we calculated it. It was 13 times we landed on battle spaces.
What the heck?
Every other turn someone landed on a battle space and all of the coins were swapped between players.
That is nuts.
It was stupid. It was extremely stupid. It would be a 50 coin battle game, then a 30 coin, and then a 10 coin, and then another 50.
See,
And I
that's
went
funny.
from
How y'all getting
yeah,
50s? Because even when I play with like CPUs
I
back in the day,
know.
I would rarely get the 50 ones. I'm doing
But
good
like
if I got the 30
yeah,
ones.
but like I'd be right in front of a boo and I'm like, "Oh, I got 50 coins. I can finally steal a star." Battle minigame takes 50 coins and I get second place.
Oh, dang. Well, did you
It
win that one or you
really
lose? Or what
did I
place you get?
win? Well, I did win the game eventually, but it took a lot of battle mini games to actually win it. I just got lucky.
Dang.
Wait, 1 second, Zard. I Someone's knocking on my door.
Okay, yeah, you can go ahead and do that. But while he's doing that, we'll go ahead and transition over to the next topic because apparently, the PlayStation consoles cannot actually manage to, communicate with Twitter or dubbing X now, apparently for some oddball reason. Because I don't know why, but I feel like it's probably because of Elon Musk and some of his decision making and stuff like that. The reason why we're not getting any posts, because for some reason, PlayStation made the call, and it was probably due to Elon Musk that now you're not going to be able to actually post any of your screenshots, your videos, or anything from your PlayStation consoles to Twitter itself. I have a feeling it's probably because of their terms of service and they're trying to charge people more, like trying to get everybody to subscribe to Twitter Blue. And I
Yeah,
hate that mess.
I'm back. I was gonna talk about that. I'm 90% sure I know what it's about. I'm pretty sure it's because they said that they were gonna attempt with like a certain beta group, like they were gonna test like having everyone be paid. I don't know what it is. I think Elon Musk is really on a crusade against like bots on Twitter.
He really is. And I'm like, I don't think you can stop those things. Like bots evolve just as quick. I say just as quick,
Yeah,
quicker than
no,
humans can themselves. So I'm like, what the heck?
It really is that he bought Twitter because he felt like it, and now he's trying to make every single dollar he can off of it, subsequently ruining it in the process. Because like Twitter Blue was just a bad idea. Because like the thing that sucks is that every single time someone says, "Oh, Twitter's dead, I'm moving to Blue Sky," they never do it
Or they do it, but there's not
for
enough
like a
people over
day.
there, so
They
it's
do it
like
for a
you're
day.
trying to have a life on Blue Sky, but you still have to come back to Twitter because that's where everybody and their mama is at.
Well, yeah, like it sucks because Elon Musk controls like a platform that people don't want to leave. As much as people don't like the state of Twitter at the moment, they like their friends on Twitter. Like, they like the funny posts, but they don't actually care about like the company or, if there was a better website that all of their friends are on, they would go to it immediately.
No, yeah, I would have been the
Because
first one to jump ship. Yeah, but
like it's
it's
like
just no one
when
else is up to the snuff of the way how Twitter has implemented all of its like DMs and all that extra stuff. Yeah.
yeah, like Twitter like has good framework. It was built off of something good. I think the issue is just that everything is now being monetized and there are people that just make engagement farming tweets where it's
Man,
like
don't even
you
get
ever
me
see
started
those
on that
tweets where
mess.
it's like, "Oh,
Yes.
what is your hot take that will get you in a position like this?" And it's that one image of Tangled with like all of the swords being held at the guy. Have you seen those?
Yeah, I've seen plenty of those on my
It's
fair share
so
on Twitter.
it's just so manipulative. I don't
And
like it.
And it's not even just that. I just hate it whenever someone posts a post that just blows up, like like a tweet that just gets out there, which you see those on Twitter, quite often. But
Yeah.
the second you go down in the comment section, you just get random other videos, posts, images, whatever that don't even pertain to that tweet itself because they're trying to farm impressions off of the other hit one. And I'm
Yeah.
like, of course. I'm like, these people just trying to get their money. I'm like,
And
bro,
here's the thing. I also don't like how there are like forced ads in your feed now.
wait,
Like,
what do you mean
there
by force ads?
like
Like when
when
you're
you're
scrolling up and it,
looking. Yeah, no, there'll be ads mixed in with the regular tweets unless you pay for Twitter Blue. But not just that, when you're looking through replies, you can also see ads mixed in with the
oh,
regular
I
tweets.
hate those. I start scrolling real
And they
fast.
also, yeah, and they also like got rid of the text saying that it's an ad for a bit.
Hmm.
Can you believe that? You couldn't even tell it was an ad. You would just see a random thing about like shampoo and be like, "Why the fuck did someone reply to this post about Mario World with a
Maybe it's because
shampoo
they're trying
ad?"
to say some people got some crusty looking heads. I don't know.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're damn right. But no, it's it's a bad website, honestly, with how they've been handling it. Like, but all right, correction. I said this wrong. It's a good website that's just been handled terribly and is slowly losing the trust of its user base. The one good mechanic they've added, and I'm very sure you have seen this, is like the little information bubble. Like, like the context. Have you ever seen like users added this context that they think you should know?
Oh, like the community notes?
Yes, community notes. I
Oh no,
love
that's good
community
because
notes.
the
It's
funny thing
so
is about
funny.
that now is the fact that I think Elon said, hey, if for some reason if you're trying to get paid on these on these impressions on these tweets that blow up, if for some reason if a community notes goes up underneath your post, then you can't get any monetization on that. And it's just funny how people be trying to put the craziest stuff out there, and you see the community note on it, and some of them are like some funny community notes. I'm like, bro, what the
I
heck?
love I like how people have put them on Elon Musk's own tweets when he spreads misinfo.
Man,
I really like
you
that.
gotta get them. You gotta get them where you can get them.
It's well because there's so many people on Twitter that do try to spread in misinformation.
Oh no, that's every day. You
Like,
just gotta have
this
some
the
common sense while going up on that
like
platform, which
you want to
some
know what
people
my
don't.
favorite ones are? My favorite ones are like this video is fabricated or this art is made using AI or this and that.
Mm,
All your funny ones that just involve embarrassing the poster. I think
yeah.
they still have to technically be approved by Twitter staff, but still. I if not for community notes, I would not be on Twitter. I
Shoot,
can
that's
I
funny.
yeah, but like I can see why has Nintendo gotten rid of them yet, or is it just PS4 and Xbox?
No, it's just PlayStation and Xbox.
Oh.
I guess Xbox hadn't had that function for a while now, and then it's just now hitting PlayStation. So it's just funny how only Nintendo's going to be able to do it now.
Yeah, which I don't know. It's kind of weird, but listen, Nintendo's next, I think. I don't think it shows X. Like when you go to post on Twitter, it still says post on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, because they're behind the ball. I wouldn't expect them to phase that out until like the new successor console comes out next year. That's when they do it.
Well, of course they will because I'm pretty sure like, it's like it's in the system.
Yeah,
Like it's like a built-in thing. Like posting to Facebook and posting to Twitter is like built-in assets. They would need to release a new hardware that just does not even have that in general.
yeah. So I don't know if they're gonna cut content. They can cut that, and I'll be okay with it. I'll be a little salty because it's just nice and convenient just to easily post anything, whether it be a screenshot or a video or something like that. I kind of hate that that sucks. PlayStation, even though that ability is taken off of the console, you can still put it to your PlayStation app and then share that to any social media. So it's not like it's completely gone. It's just
Yeah.
the easiest, convenient way of it is just gone. But there's still
I
an
just think
avenue for you to do it.
Yeah, I think this is another like road to Twitter's downfall. I think, there's been a bunch of incidents that made people move the blue sky, but I think there's gonna be a big one coming that will have everyone move over.
It's
I think
probably bound to
Twitter,
happen at
yeah,
some
they're
point or
slowly
another.
losing all their trust. I don't really get the thought process behind Elon Musk. He's literally the richest man in the world, but he cannot do any good with his money whatsoever.
Yeah. Well,
Like
I get
he just has to ruin things that people have fun with.
yeah, and I guess on that note, I didn't think we are gonna be on that topic for that long though, but it
I use
sucks
Twitter
that
all day, so yeah, I'm very invested in it. Sorry.
I'm invested too, and I hate how they're taking away, this easy access to sharing your images and videos for your gaming stuff. I imagine it's a policy change on Twitter, so it sucks, but there's still a way for you to get around doing it. Just use the PlayStation app.
Yeah,
All
or
right,
just
now
report it.
this is where we get into some really, and I mean some really thick news. And whole shoot. Man, goodness. Somehow Rockstar came out in some of their tweets, and it wasn't even in the first tweet that they posted about. It was kind of in like one of their layer tweets, like a reply tweet. But in that tweet, they basically said, "Hey, in the first week of December, we're gonna go ahead and drop the new trailer for the next Grand Theft Auto game." Now, sure everybody and their mama is already thinking about it. It's gonna be GTA 6. And I
Of
guess
course
whenever
it
they do
is.
drop that out, that's probably gonna break the internet. Because we all know how big that series is at this point though. But I'm like,
GTA
ooh,
6 is GTA 6 is like a Tears of the Kingdom situation where every single time anything happens, everyone was asking, "Where's the sequel to Breath of the Wild gonna show up? Where's this gonna show up?" And it never did for the longest time. And then was it GTA 6 had a bunch of leaks happen, right?
oh yeah, they had like all that pre or that beta footage, whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's
And it
beta
was fun.
footage.
Yeah, and it was funny because obviously it wasn't polished. You could tell it's like some raw assets and stuff though. But we managed to get a little bit of information out of there, and they had to come out with this whole statement like, "Oh, we're so sorry. This stuff managed to get out to you. This is not the way how we want to present it. They're trying to do some damage control on this because I mean, obviously, they can make a bounce back from this. This is Grand Theft Auto, though. But if it was like any
Let's be
other
honest.
company in their spot, that would look really bad and really embarrassing because you might have put some people off. But yeah,
Honestly, though, they did a very good job at covering up the footage. Like, I didn't see much of it myself.
saw quite a bit of it because I was digging around. I was just kind of curious to see what was out there.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing really any of it myself. Think I
Mm.
must have gotten lucky, maybe.
Yeah, because they were scrubbing the internet hard, like Twitter, YouTube, everything got hit. If you just weren't there looking, yeah, good luck trying to find it now unless you just got somebody that just downloaded the stuff. Whew. But yeah, so honestly, it's gonna be interesting. I'm looking at the calendar right now. I'm trying to figure out when. Shoot. So it won't be in my next podcast episode 67, but it'll be 68 when we'll have the announcement by that
Yeah.
time. So, couple of shows from now, we'll be able to revisit this topic, see what our thoughts on this next Grand Theft Auto is, whether or not if it's a game that if it's woke or not.
Who
I'm sorry.
cares?
I
It's the
just
next Grand Theft Auto. Who cares if it's woke?
I had to say it because of the funny jokes and stuff. Because
What?
apparently, for those that don't know, I guess when people looked at that beta footage or the on the raw files and stuff, I guess it's based
What?
upon like some kind of female lead or something like that. That's why I'm just playing into the jokes. This is funny.
Who the hell cares about the story in Grand Theft Auto? I just want to run stuff over, and I want it to be a fun game. I just want it to be fun.
Yeah, because
And also, like, I don't know. Female, are we really still at the point where having a female lead is what people see as a bad thing?
I don't know. I don't know.
I
In
don't get
terms of
it.
my Grand Theft Auto experience, I remember playing one of them. I don't know if it was like Vice City or like GTA 3
Yeah.
or something like that. I remember playing at one of my cousins' house, and they had uh, I think it was a PlayStation 3 or something. But 3 or 2. But I managed to play a little bit of it, and that's my greatest extent on it. So I don't really have a lot of experience with it. But when GTA 6 comes out, I probably will pick it up. I don't know how invested I will get up in it, but I do like those open sandboxy kind of games where you can kind of do
Yeah.
whatever, all that stuff. Especially now they got like GTA Online, and that's a big thing now. Who knows how
Now,
big they're gonna make it with this games?
oh no, it
Comparing,
will just
yeah.
complete. It's gonna completely transfer over. I think everything that GTA Online already was either will be completely rebooted and it will be GTA Online 2, or it will just be completely carried over.
No, I think they're gonna do it from the ground up because they can still make money off of the original series, so there's gonna be people still invested on that, and I think it's just gonna be a completely
Yeah.
rebooted GTA Online. It's
It's not
close
like
to being
Grand
like
Theft
an
Auto.
MMO. I feel like it's gonna be
Yeah.
getting close to an MMO at this point because 'cause they're just making hand over fist on this stuff.
Like, think about it like this, there's a reason why people wanted to buy the Grand Theft Auto trilogy because people still like the old GTA games. They're still fun games.
Yeah.
Like, stuff like Big Smoke is like half the reason to go back to something like San Andreas.
Ooh,
It's very fun games and very memorable characters. Even 5, I like the characters, like the main like trio are pretty cool. It's gonna the big question, do you think it's gonna release in 2024?
no. I'll tell you that now, no. They'll give us the release date in that first week of December, but I'm not I said the release date. They'll give us the trailer, should I say, in the first week of December in a few weeks from now, but it will not tell us like a release date unless they tell us like a release date window. But even if they do, it ain't gonna be 2024, it's gonna be 2025. I feel like that's what's gonna happen.
I think it's gonna be revealed for 2024 and then get delayed personally, but that's a pretty easy assumption to make.
But your end game is probably still gonna be 2025.
I'm thinking more like 2026.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm thinking listen, obviously we're gonna get some finalized footage of like what the story is gonna be, what the characters are gonna be, but I don't think we're gonna know anything about the like the scope of the world. And I think definitely visuals are gonna be touched up because this game will be a tech demo for whatever next gen PS5 comes out. If they do a PS5 Pro, this game will take full advantage of that. I think it will be like 4K 120 or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, it's definitely. Oh goodness, no, stopped up. Yeah, it's definitely going to take advantage of everything that's going to be offered at that one point because they're going to future proof this. We're going to be stuck with this game for another decade or so. It's kind of funny because I saw people online posting their before and after when GTA 5 was released and versus when GTA 6 is about to almost come out. It's been almost a decade, so people doing those before and after pictures. I was like, dang. I was like, well, 10 years ago for me, I was Dang, 10 years ago for me, I was actually I think I was a sophomore in high school.
I was
But
playing Mario Kart
yeah,
Wii every morning. Is what
yeah,
I
I
was
was a
doing.
sophomore in high school when GTA 5 came out. I'm like, dang,
I was playing Super Paper Mario for like the 15th time in when I was 10.
dang.
Yeah,
Ooh.
but no, it's been a long time coming, and my God, it's not even like they haven't supported it. They probably have their own team that just constantly supports GTA Online, I
Oh
think.
no, yeah, most definitely. Or
And
at least when
so
it's
yeah, I've
making you that
been
much money.
kind of been looking into the like videos. I think it's two characters. It's a guy and a girl are like the main characters for GTA 6, I think, from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, that's what I recall.
Which I think is more interesting. Maybe you have this duo, and like this duo is heavily focused on, and they get a lot of development just between them. While like while the three characters in GTA 5 were pretty separate. Like like very like side like they were all like side stories in a bigger grand story,
Mhm.
kind of like Sonic 06.
Ooh, dang,
Just
I didn't think we are gonna be talking about '06 up in this podcast.
No, I'm just saying that's like three separate characters with three stories. I meant no, but I think it's gonna be a fun game. I trust Rockstar to put out a quality product most of the time. That GTA trilogy was very buggy, but I guarantee it was not their main team doing it. So obviously, yeah,
No, yeah.
like everything that their main team does is pretty good. Like I know a lot of people like Red Dead Redemption 2. Um, a lot of people, obviously GTA 5 is great. It's a great game. I just think that Rockstar makes too much goddamn money off of like the hype for GTA Online and all that to actually not put the resources in to make GTA 6 great.
No, because I think word on the street is, or I guess in the rumor mill, that this game might be taking, in terms of the cost of developing it,
Like a
it could
billion.
be $1 billion. A
Hell
billion.
yeah.
B with a B.
Yeah, it's you know how much money it's gonna make? Like a lot more than that. So yeah,
Yeah, so
this is gonna be one of those games that sells like 100 million copies in like a year, and I mean that entirely seriously.
how much
This
hold
is
on, how
gonna
much did GTA 5 manage to sell? Hold on here. Because I know it's
a hundred
GTA
like
5, I think
130
it's
million.
yeah, and if it's 130, you're being pretty bold to say that this thing is gonna
I
sell
think.
100 million in 1 year.
Yeah, I think so. I
That's
think it's gonna
the
sell.
funny thing about that is we don't even between the Xbox Series X, S, and the PS5,
All right,
there's not even a hundred there's not even a 100 million
PC.
consoles. Oh, PC. Never mind. Okay. I mean, you got me there.
It's not gonna. It's not like unless this game somehow ends up being a console exclusive, which it's not.
No, not with a game like that. No.
You know
Okay.
how pissed off people will be if it's only on PS5?
Don't get everybody and their
It's
mama to buy it
not.
though.
I think I was gonna say no. Red Dead Redemption 2 is not that way. They're not gonna do that. It'd be the
No, they
funniest
wouldn't
thing
because
ever.
Sony would
But
not want to pay hand over fist to them just to get the
yeah, I
exclusivity
think
rights
yeah,
for that.
Sony.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, Sony would have to pay multiple millions of dollars for something
No,
like that.
shoot, might be getting close to 1 billion.
Yeah,
Let's keep it real.
yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
it's kind of crazy.
yeah, it is crazy. But I think that's pretty much it in terms of most of our thoughts on GTA 6. You'll hear a lot
Yeah,
more of it in a couple of episodes from now, but
yeah.
we might be getting something good cooking in the kitchen from Rockstar on that one.
Yeah, like as much as I'm a Nintendo fan and I love kind of just like focusing on Nintendo games, GTA 6 is too big to ignore. That game is too big to just not talk about whenever news comes out about it.
Yeah.
It's just something that everyone in the gaming community kind of just agrees to like respect.
So yeah, if you're smart, gaming companies, you just don't put your heavy hitter out on that year. You just kind of
Yeah,
put some fluff because you know what's getting winning game of the year on that one.
Nintendo's gonna release like the next Metroid game that year and it's gonna get completely fucked.
Oh goodness. All right, well
It's
we'll
it
roll over to the next topic because
yeah.
Spider-Man 2. The game has came out, has released. I managed to go through and beat it. I have a review on the channel about my thoughts. Like I gave most of my non-spoilerly thoughts, at least for the first half of the video, and then the second half I talked about them spoilers because oh shoot, there's some things that need to be said about this game. And gosh dang it, Steven, I can't even talk to you about it because you hadn't even picked up and
All
broke
right.
the seal off that thing, man. You,
Are you
your your
are you
your
fu-
jaw would
All right.
drop to the ground once you get to that point. I am telling you.
All right. Well, can I at least talk about a certain suit that I've definitely seen?
Okay, go ahead.
That Miles suit sucks.
And the one he's talking about is not the one that you see on the box art. We ain't talking about that one. That one's cool. But no, there's a
Yeah,
suit that you get later on in the game, kind of close to almost the tail end or where action starts picking up. And I'm like, what the heck? Like you can see his hair through the top.
and it's also entirely sponsored by like it's an Adidas collab. Did you know that?
Yeah, and I know that,
Yeah,
and that's the reason why it looks a little funky. I ain't gonna lie. I
it's
seen
awful.
people I seen people go back and redesign the suit, and it looks almo it's literally the same design as the original. It's just you take the hair,
Gets rid
you
of the
put it
hair.
behind the suit itself, and you just do a little tweaks on the head, and it looks like a really cool suit. I ain't gonna lie. It's just the hair being shown like that is a little
It's
off-putting.
yeah, but like I think the only reason why they did it in the first place is their obsession with like making Peter. Oh my God, we gotta show that Peter's different from Miles. How do we do that? Adidas.
No, but the other funny thing about that is in the Miles Morales game, he was like, "Oh, I got to do a Miles original or whatnot." Though he said that when he
Oh my
made that
God.
suit in that one, he turns around and says something very similar in Spider-Man 2 whenever he busts out that new
Like this
suit,
is my
and it's
best
like,
suit yet. The Adidas collab.
and I'm
Went
like,
to
how many
Adidas
times
and
we're gonna
bought
go
his
through
suit.
this? I don't know. Ooh,
Well, no, I just think no.
I was about
I
to
think
tell you something, but
yeah,
that would be
like
technically a spoiler, so I can't
yeah,
say
like
that.
Miles Morales just seems like a bit of a like a problem character for writers, where every single writer that picks up Miles Morales feels like they have to reinvent the character. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
Yeah.
I gotta do my own thing, as Spider Verse neatly put it.
Eh, but
Which
yeah,
he has done his own thing, and I thought Miles Morales would be like the end of that arc, where like he made his suit, he did it on his own, but no, sounds like they just retread on old ground with that. But guess what? Venom's probably pretty cool, so I'll get to that game soon. I'm off
oh
the
yeah,
next
you
2 days. I
better.
might have a perfect opportunity.
Yeah, because in terms of the sales for the game, it was doing pretty hot. Apparently, it sold more than 2.5 million copies within the first 24 hours of
Yeah,
launch, which technically made it its fastest selling PlayStation game ever.
probably it outsold Mario Wonder. I seen that.
Well, yeah, which is kind of crazy in and of itself. I know this is going to be a game that's going to continue to sell, but it technically being the only first party game that's came out and released for Sony in 2023. That's crazy. The only other
And
thing
it's
that's
the
kind
only
of
one they
close,
needed.
the only other thing
Come
that was
on.
kind of close was Burning Shores Horizon Forbidden West DLC that launched way early this year.
Genuinely, who cared?
But
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
so I don't know. Yeah, like what you said, it's the main thing that most people care about. I'm just kind of at a point now, and I talked about this in a video before where I'm like, what in the world is happening with Sony? You wouldn't think that they'd be in trouble considering about their sales reports because we're about to talk about that literally next. But the
Yeah.
fact that we're going into 2024, Steven, and there is not a single first party game that is dated, even like with a year release, whatever, though for the
What are the
future,
other ones that
period.
don't have years?
Like, for example, ones that don't have years, we know Wolverine Insomniac is working
Oh
on, but
yeah.
there's no date announced for that. And there might be a couple of other things that's being kicked around the rumor mill, but not really that much at all, Steven.
Have they confirmed the Spider-Man 3?
Yes, there's gonna be a Spider-Man 3. But
Of course
obviously
there is.
they hadn't, hadn't done it like in the avenue like Wolverine, like saying coming soon. It's not like that. It's
Well,
kinda like
no,
how the
because
first
they're gonna
Spider-Man
make
game ended, and we knew there was gonna be a 2, but, they didn't say anything more than that.
Well, yeah, because I'm pretty sure they're just waiting for they're waiting for the game to be finished, like Wolverine, and then they'll start working on Spider-Man 3. I
And
don't
that's the
think
other
Miles
thing too. We don't know
Morales
if we're
is
going to
gonna
go
get
straight to a
another.
3 or we're going to get another spin-off. And I can't talk about what could be the spin-off thing because you hadn't played the game, but there's two
I
avenues that they could
know,
go in terms
oy
of
vey.
a potential spin-off. But yeah, I'll leave it at that.
I've
Now, in
gotten
turn
spoiled on select things, but yeah, I won't say any of it.
yeah. But in terms of the overall PlayStation sales, we can look at this now because apparently Spider-Man 2 now, if we were to look at it, it actually managed to sell 5 million copies within the span of 11 days. So it kind of got like 50% of its running go from like the first day launch of the 24 hours and then managed to double it by adding like 10 extra days on top of it though. In terms of the PlayStation 5 consoles, we're currently sitting at 46.6 million units sold as of September 30th.
Huh. So certainly a lot.
Which I kind of wish I mean, I had to do a lot of digging in order to figure out at this same point of the year if we were to compare the span of time that the PS5 has been out versus the span of time when the Nintendo Switch was, if we were to say that the Switch came out on the same day as the PS5 came out, is it on track if it's a little ahead or a little behind though? But and I guess they're trying to make up steam because of COVID and they lost potential sales on that. So everybody and their mom was kind of recovering from that. So I guess a lot of
Yeah.
people going out and buying those games though. But I feel like this is gonna come back and bite
Yeah.
Sony in the butt. We didn't have this as a topic for in this podcast episode, but I know you probably heard about this. The whole 12 games as a service thing. Have you heard about that?
No, I have not. Please
S-
elaborate.
So apparently there's been a report that's been going around and it's not even just a report, it's something that Sony has talked about themselves though. But apparently Sony has 12 games as a service or live service games slash multiplayer that are supposed to plan to come out before 2025 at the latest. 12 of them. However, recently we got a news report that yes, they internally delayed six of those things to like beyond 2025 or whatever though. So that's kind of where we're at right now. But because there's that many live service games that they're working on, live service games and how they function and operate, they're built for you to really only play that one game and no
They're
other
the worst
games.
type of game. Yeah, I get what you. Yeah,
And it's not
no one likes them.
everybody can't be a Fortnite or
No
everybody
one
can't
can
be
be a Fortnite.
yeah.
Fortnite can't even be a fucking Fortnite anymore. Come
Oh
on.
yeah, yeah, because they had all
Like,
them layoffs and stuff,
well,
and
not
they
not even
spent so
that.
much
Like,
money to where they can't even they had to they hadn't
not
even been
even.
budgeting and all that. Well,
Well, not to go on a tangent because this will be very brief, but I don't know if you've seen recently. Even Fortnite had the like bank on nostalgia, and they went back to like their original seasons. Like, I don't
oh,
know if
like the old
like
maps. Yeah, I
yeah,
heard
it's
about that.
it's like Fortnite OG where they went back to the first map for like a whole month before their next map comes out. And it's like a cool thing. It brought a lot of people back to Fortnite. It's at its peak, and it hasn't been at this for many years. But the fact that Fortnite needed to do something drastic just to reach its popularity again, live service games are over.
Yeah,
Peop they're on their way out. I think. Oh, okay, in their current form, they're over. I think the battle pass structure is gonna be done. So you can't do battle pass anymore. Come on.
yeah, so I feel like everybody wants to be or have like a Fortnite or a Final Fantasy 14, something that's gonna make them hands over fists
Yeah.
consistently. People, all businesses are like licking their lips and like, oh, they're chomping at the bit. Like we want something like that. But it's funny how most of the gamers or people that cover stuff like me and you on this, we have that outside perspective. Like, no, not everybody's gonna be like this. It's not the most reliable thing. You can be like somebody like a Bungie and have something like a Destiny, but if that's all you're known for, and then it's like, well, you're trying to do something else. It's like you might run
Yeah.
into some
Like for
troubles.
example,
Like you don't have any diverse, creativity or anything like that. Shaky
for ex-
grounds.
for example, a game like Fall Guys, I really like Fall Guys, or at least I really liked Fall Guys, and they've just been well, no, they've just been battle passing the hell out of it.
Yeah, so I don't know. It ain't really too good. I don't like the direction of it, but I think it's because of all of those future projects. It's the reason why I think we're going to be getting less of the well-known what Sony's usually used to be known for. I'll go ahead and say that. The single player focused cinema related games. I think that's going to be taking a slight back seat because of the games as a service or slash these multiplayer games are about to come out. So it is a little bit unfortunate, but I think this is kind of where we're at with PlayStation. Whew, but yeah, so I think that's gonna basically do it in terms of that topic right there. So now we'll get over to here this other bit of interesting news. We're gonna flip back on the Nintendo side of things now because we managed to get that final wave of Mario Kart Deluxe DLC with the Wave 6. Yes, it is finally gonna be the very last video or I said, why did I say video? The very last bit of courses as well as characters that are going to be dropping out for the Mario Kart 8 game. It's been a
Hell
long road,
yeah.
Steven. It's been a very long road. We started this mess almost 2 years ago with all these waves of DLC. It took, yeah,
It's,
two
well,
years
no,
for
it's
six
been,
waves.
was it 2 years? Was it really
It's
2021?
no,
I thought it
it
was
was
2022.
or it was 2022, March of 2022. March of 2022 is when we kicked off this thing.
Oh,
So
okay, but
all of last year and
it was
all of this
announced like
year.
2 years ago. It was
Yeah.
announced like 2 years ago. Yeah, no, I'm very happy that they did this personally. Like I know a lot of people are divisive on it, but I think no matter the consistency of how they look, the fact of the matter is that it's just it just brought so much more life to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And even besides the tracks, you could hate half of these tracks and still they made how many quality of life improvements for free as well. Like even if you don't buy the courses, you can play online. And I don't know if you know this, Zard. Yeah, I'm pretty sure even if you don't have the booster course pass, there's tons of people that still select them online. You can
Oh
play
yeah.
all of them,
Yeah,
no
for sure.
problem. Even if you don't have the booster course pass, you can even still get that like little thank you image. I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh yeah,
There's now like
I
a little
saw
thank
that
you
one
image.
because I think
Yeah,
don't you have to
if
get
you
first place or the gold trophy in all the DLC
you
cups
just
in
need
order to
to
get
get
it?
a trophy, third place or more in
Okay,
every single
okay.
cup, including the ones on top. But no, you can also play 100 online matches on DLC tracks or something along those lines. You can get it even without owning the DLC. Wow, with
Uh,
Mario Kart 8 base game. Remember how in the base game on Wii U for Mario Kart 8, uh you couldn't even go online with people that did not have the DLC and pick DLC tracks.
oh gosh, that was like an
Like
eon ago. I forgot about that.
do you remember like you had to make lobbies with DLC or without DLC?
Goodness.
It sucked. Well, in this game you can basically play it's mostly all for offline purposes. Like you don't actually have to buy the DLC unless you feel like playing it offline. Like you just as long as one friend has it, you can all play it. I like that a lot.
No, yeah, and
Um,
that's one cool thing I really
If
do
we're
like.
talking about the contents of the DLC, however, I really like it. I think this wave by far is the best one with the best variety of courses. Not too many course. The main problem with the DLC has probably been a lot of the tour. Like a bit too many things from tour. Like a lot of stuff from tour that some people said didn't mesh well with the rest of the DLC. Stuff like that. Um, but this wave has been the best. We got Funky Kong back, always a pleasure. We got SNES Bowser Castle 3 is really fun. Rosalina Ice World is pretty good, returning course from 7. Um, the ones we got from Tour are really good. And then we got Wii Rainbow Road.
Now, let's take some of these courses one by one. We might as well go ahead and
Okay.
give our thoughts on some of these things, though. But I was trying to find a good little thing that had all of them. I could
I
just
know
look
all
at.
of them. I know the order by like already, so you
All
could
right,
just
well,
ask me.
do it in the regular order. We'll talk about them
All right.
by one in the regular order.
First one, Rome Avanti. I really like it. I like the third lap where there's the chain chomps biting at the Colosseum like bridge.
Oh yeah, I still like that one. It was a nice experience going like what you said about the chain chomps. I kind of like that.
I like the nighttime feel.
Kind of gave the city a little bit of a life kind of going through it. It felt different from some of those other tour courses where I
Yeah.
felt like it was enjoyable and it wasn't kind of bland like some of the other tour courses we had.
It also just has a more interesting design, a lot more wide, winding turns and stuff like that. It actually feels like a harder one
Hmm.
compared to something like Madrid Drive, but we'll talk about that after. The next one is DK Mountain. I fucking love DK
Oh,
Mountain.
DK Mountain now that's my course
Oh
right
my
there. Like,
god.
oh shoot, I'm glad
Hell
that one's
yeah.
back. Man, I love that mess
DK
on the original
Mountain.
GameCube. I felt like it was on some other
It was on Wii.
um oh Wii. Okay, yeah, that's
And
where I got a
Wii,
lot of time on the Wii.
a lot of people love it on Wii because there's a shortcut where you can clip into a wall on one of the
Right.
half pipes they added.
But I think because of the fact you got 12 racers now, those turns are a lot easier to make going down the mountain compared to like if you play that mess on the GameCube,
Yeah.
you better have that those
It feels
drifts
like
lined up.
they made it more wide, and also they actually did open up more shortcuts.
Oh,
Like
like can
besides
you like just jump off like on the edge of one with like a well-timed mushroom
like
boost or
like you.
something?
I'm assuming, have you ever done like that gap jump on DK Mountain where like the last gap right before the bridge you could skip?
I don't think I ever attempted that. No.
Well, basically they put a fence there, but you could still make it very easily. They literally put a fence to stop people from doing it, but it's even easier now because of the physics of it.
Oh.
So
Hmm.
basically, you have like shortcuts there on the section where you're actually jumping down the mountain itself right after you launch up. You can like get up on the mountains to the right. Like there's a lot less invisible walls. It's just a very fun course to race on. And also they added the new DK barrels that drop items once in a while.
Oh yeah, that was a nice little touch.
Yeah, and
I like that. Yeah.
it also looks really nice with like the volcanic mountain. It's probably the best looking retro course in the whole wave.
Oh yeah, because like even when you're racing down the mountain, you can actually look at like the textures of the actual, I guess, the gravel that's kind of at the very peak, and it seems like there's a lot of detail that was up on this one, a lot more than kind of what I was expecting.
Yeah. Um
All right, what's the next one?
Now, shit. How did Okay, you're gonna hate me. I forgot, but I just need a second and I'll remember. Um.
So you were trying to do this mess off on the
Okay,
Wii.
no, I forgot. Look up the one after DK Mountain. Look up the Acorn Cup.
Oh, Acorn Cup. Okay.
How did I already forget? It's gonna be something really easy.
Oh, it's isn't it that new
Is it
course, the
Daisy
underwater
Circuit?
one?
Wait,
No, 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 not Daisy
is it
Circuit. I
not
think
Daisy Circuit now?
isn't it the new course? The one with
Uh,
the Piranha Plant Cove? Is that what it's
no,
called?
that's the ending course. That's the
Oh, is it
last
the end?
course.
Oh no, it is Daisy Circuit. Yeah, it's Daisy Circuit.
Okay, how did I forget? That was the first one they revealed. Daisy Circuit's great. It's simple because it was originally the first course in the Star Cup and Wii. It's a simple layout, but the sunset is really nice, and it's just like a nice, fun one. It reminds me of Yoshi Circuit in a lot of ways. Just a course that I have fun, like more basic layout that, it's not too crazy. It's just whenever I want a fun race, I pick that one. It's
Yeah,
also from Wii. So,
yeah, that
you know,
was
that
like one of the ones I kind of personally liked from the Wii. I don't know why. Maybe it was just the
it's just
atmosphere, with it being
yeah, the
sunset and
music
stuff.
is nice. The music is
Featuring
very nice on that
Daisy
one.
and also Luigi as well. And then you got like some shortcuts where it's like you can if you got a well-timed mushroom boost. That I like how they put like a little piranha plant thing covering the little gap.
Yeah.
Even though
There's
on the Wii version there was nothing there. You just saw the little alleyway or whatever though. But
it was from Tour, I think they added that.
yeah. So it's a nice course. I always liked it. I think it's more so like the music and the atmosphere I kind of like within that one itself personally. But it's not nothing that's like a all out there crazy course. It's just more like a nice relaxing time kind of course.
Yeah, and now Piranha Plant Cove is probably one of the best original courses from Tour in this game because it was already really good in tour with the environment is very unique, like this underground ruins mixed with a cave that you explore. But then not only that, but you also go up and down. You go in the water and out of the water a lot in the course. It's really cool.
Hmm.
It's actually, I'm pretty sure it's like one of the only courses that starts underwater. You might not have noticed that. It's a very small thing.
Wait, you said it starts underwater?
Yeah,
I
like the starting line is underwater.
oh no, I
I think
think.
it's the only course that
Hmm.
starts like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because even some of the other water ones, it's like you're on a beach or something, and then you go in the water or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But it's a very good course. I have a lot of variety. Every single lap is different. You go to a different part of the ruins. I like it a lot.
I think that's the
There's a
one thing that I want to see a lot more in whatever comes in the next Mario Kart is what, because this course right here where you're actually having different laps every single time, like you're going down a different alleyway or something like that.
someone.
That's the one thing I liked with this one.
Yeah, that's definitely the. Well, here's the thing though. You don't want to have too many of those. You know what I mean?
Not too many, but I mean like
Yeah.
a good handful.
Like for example, something like Grumble Volcano, which if you don't remember, Grumble Volcano is the volcano one where every single lap pieces fall off.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Like that's a perfect way to do it, where you're still going through the same course, but it gets harder.
Shoot, I hate Rumble Volcano, man, on
But you know what?
200
Like that's
cc.
better. Like it getting slightly harder every lap is a lot better than just what they do now for like the tour courses. Or some of the tour courses it was relatively confusing where they want you to go. At least I think
Yeah, even
so.
though they got them big old arrows, half of the time it's like, all right, I gotta go down this way, way, way. You saying that this way now? Shoot.
It didn't feel intuitive. This feels a lot better. Especially one that we haven't talked about. But yeah, Piranha Plant Cove's good. Now the next one is Madrid Drive. I like Madrid Drive. It's cool. It's
Oh
nice and
heck yes.
simple.
Oh heck yes. This
I
one
like
right
the
here.
music. Music's very good. It changes every lap.
No, this track right here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think it's my favorite tour related course. Music alone holds this course up a whole bunch. Have you? Oh my gosh, that music on this course.
It's good.
Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. And we hadn't even talked about this yet, though. But they managed to put some extra stuff in within this update. Like for example, now you're able to actually go through and listen to all of the Mario Kart tracks, even the slight
Yeah,
different variants that they do for certain either laps or where you're in certain environments and stuff like that. Like I even sat down, boot that mess up, and just put that on in the background while I was doing some other stuff. Man, that
yeah.
music is
It's
just so
definitely
good.
nice. Like it's just nice to have in game. Obviously, YouTube exists, but not everyone has that. It's nice that you could just open up a game like Mario Kart and play the music.
No, but
It's
yeah,
just a nice
honestly,
offline option.
there's a lot of cool things to do up in this course. I like how you're actually able to go through the soccer stadium. Well, I guess people say
With the
football,
Goomba
football
shoes.
stadium, and it even changes the music up for a little bit. It sounds a little more bombastic when you're going through it, though. But
That's what some of the other courses do. Like when you're in like the market section in like Singapore Speedway, it would
now
change up the
Singapore, I
music.
think, is my second place. That one was a
Oh
really
yeah,
good
no,
one too.
Singapore is amazing, but I just thought I would not mention it only because it was another wave.
Yeah.
A lot of the ones from Tour are really good. It's just nice to have some unique ones mixed in with all these retros. If it was only retro courses, people would be a lot less interested in the booster course pass.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so Madrid Drive's great. One
What's next
after
after that
that
one?
is Rosalina's Ice World. This one's just pretty good, and that's about it. It's
I don't
good.
even remember this one from the 3DS. Like they said
It's a
there was
little
3DS. I was like, what
forgettable.
the heck?
It's a little forgettable. You want to know what? It's very similar to GameCube Sherbert Land. If you know how that one is, where it
Oh,
had
now
like the
I know
underwater
GameCube
section when
Sherbert
you fall
Land.
through the
Yeah,
ice. Yeah, when you
yeah.
fall through the ice and you go underwater in 8. It's very similar to that course, but it's also got like a little cave section that you go through. I think it's a nice course. I just like having more under like, ice courses. I love the winter aesthetic. So even for me, even though the design is a little bland, I'm still gonna say it's really good, just because I like having more winter themed
I
stages in the
just
game.
think it's okay. I mean,
That's what
yeah,
yeah, that's what I
I
said.
do agree. I like the winter stages and stuff.
Uh,
Like the GBA one that we got within the DLC stuff. Oh, that one's a good course. I love that one. But
it's definitely a bit more complex than like you'd expect, just with the underwater section and the cave section
which I
at
hadn't
the
been
end.
able to make that jump because there's the underwater section, and then there's the part that's the ice on top. I didn't
I really
manage to
like it.
make that ice on top part, but I guess you got to get like a speed boost in order to get
You
up
can
there.
use the half pipes that they added as well.
Hmm.
The half pipes right before that jump, you can use those to get like basically it's the equivalent of a mushroom boost.
Oh, and okay, maybe I just avoided that, and that's how I hadn't gotten up there. Okay.
But yeah, no, it's a fun course. Like I have no problem. Like it's a very fun course. I have no problems or riding like riding on it. It's not the actual course that's the problem. It's more just like in the last cup of the game, I'd expect something a little bit more bombastic. Like if they brought back Airship Fortress from DS.
Oh, I love that one. Shoot.
Like if they're
I
gonna
think that's guaranteed for Mario Kart. Is it gonna be 10?
9, fucking
Well,
hope so.
I don't know
Like
if they're gonna
10,
call
yeah.
it 9, if
Tour
they
is
call
9.
Tours
Come on.
9, so maybe
But here's
just
the
call it
thing.
10, just call it 10 at this point. Call it
I
10.
think 10 Mario Kart X would be a lot more exciting as a name. Like, it sounds
I
a
mean,
lot better than
they
Mario
could
Kart
put the
9.
X symbol, but people are gonna say 10. That's
But
probably what will happen.
at the same time, with how good Mario Kart 8 did, it would kind of be a better idea to just call it 9. Very clear marketing. It's the next Mario Kart. It's,
I guess,
it's
yeah,
not,
they probably will. They
especially
probably will.
because most people already shorten 8 Deluxe as 8DX.
Yeah, because in my mind, I'm also thinking about it as you have Mario Kart 8 and you have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and that's
And
almost like
everyone
two
already
entirely
calls it
different games, but
and
they're
everyone
technically the
already
same. But
calls it
yeah,
Mario Kart 9. Everyone already is just calling it Mario Kart 9. So even though Tour probably is 9, they're just gonna call it like a spin-off thing.
yeah. All right, what
They're
we
just
got
gonna
next, Steven?
um okay, after that is Bowser's Castle 3. Now this is probably just the best SNES course in the game.
No, no, it's not probably. It is the best
Like I
SNES
like
game up
I
in, or
love
course up in here.
I love Rainbow Road SNES. I really do, but it's very simple design-wise
Very
compared to this
simple.
course.
Very
Well,
simple.
this course, here's the thing. This course, by the way, if you don't know, the version that's in this game is the version from Tour. And in Tour, they changed it up so much that you could basically call it a new track.
No, this is
That's the
anything
reason
but
why
like
it looks
a
so
traditional
yeah.
SNES courses. All your SNES
Yeah.
courses were flat. It's I think anytime that they went and evolved either an SNES course or a GBA course, they felt pretty brand new, except for like
Mario
you
Circuit
know,
3.
yeah, like those basic old SNES courses where it's just like the blocks raised up,
Well,
but
they
you're still
did
kind of
that.
going that.
Well, no,
Eh.
they did that once in the past. Like in the booster course past, they only did that once. It's kind of fucking boring, honestly.
Yeah,
I don't know
I didn't
why
like
they left it
those,
like
but
that.
this one felt like it was like a refresh, like how those GBA courses we've been almost getting in every single wave. It felt like one of those. And a little unfortunate we didn't get a GBA course in here, but the GBA course treatment, should I say, kind of went into this SNES Bowser Castle 3. So I'm like, okay, I'll take what I can get. But no, the way how you're taking those turns, you have anti-gravity almost on a lot of the parts of is it is it every bit of the course or almost 90% of it or something like that. But you're able to ricochet off of people all the time. You're able to actually drive on top of walls themselves. You have like all these flames and stuff. You can
I
constantly
love it.
see the Bowser's castle outside of it. I've been long saying I want a GBA Bowser Castle 3 to be some part of this DLC. Even though it's not the GBA one, it's awfully close with this SNES one. So I'll take it where I can get it
You
though.
you
But
want to know something funny? We've not gotten a single Bowser's Castle in the entirety of 8's history until now. You wouldn't believe it until someone says it.
wait,
We did
no, we Oh,
No, we
Bowser's
didn't.
Castle.
We got Bowser's Castle that's original to 8, and we got Bowser's Castle from the SNES. Besides that, we have not gotten a single Bowser's Castle, not in the DLC for regular 8, not in the DLC for this game.
Dang, that's kind of messed up considering how many
Yeah,
different Rainbow
and you
Roads, which
want to
we'll
know?
get to that
Yeah, I
when we
was about to
talk about
say,
it.
yeah,
But
we
ugh.
at least just in the Booster Course Pass, they added, well, I think 2 new Rainbow Roads. Yeah, they added 2 new Rainbow Roads to the ever-growing selection of Rainbow Roads, and like they're both good. But like, I would have loved more Bowser's Castle. Especially since they're bringing back so many Wii tracks. Wii Bowser's Castle is amazing. I think every Bowser's Castle is good.
No,
I don't know
every
if you remember
Bowser's Castle. I don't think I ran
GameCube.
into a bad one. Even the
GameCube
SNES
is a
ones are
very good.
technically good too.
Yeah, GameCube is a very good Bowser's Castle. DS Bowser's Castle is really weird, but it's fun.
All right, and
Yeah,
what
there's
what
like
what what's in
nothing.
this
And
last
then
course?
you know what the last one is. I don't have to say it.
Rainbow Road, baby. The best Rainbow Road
Yeah,
that has ever
baby.
been out on any of these Mario Kart games. It's weird because I heard some weird talks from some people that saying that Mario Kart Wii Rainbow Road wasn't one of their best or one of their worst not one of the worst, but
Who
like it
cares?
wasn't like one of their best ones. So, the course was awesome on the Wii, on the
They're
original one.
wrong. And
So
it's even
I don't
better
know.
here. It's even better. I
It's
love
better
it in
here
this
because you
game.
had tighter controls, which I will say Mario Kart Wii, unless you were making those turns just right with drifting, it could be a little challenging. But this
Oh,
one is like
no, I liked how it was
it's
really hard.
perfect.
It's a lot harder on Wii, but this one, especially how if you don't know, the entire course is anti-gravity, meaning that some shortcuts that you were able to do on Wii are even easier now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
For example, you know how there's that part where you drive over those two like big circles? There's like big holes in the ground that you can trick off of.
Oh yeah, that part, yeah.
Yeah, that part, if you can go over those a lot easier if you have a speed boost from a mushroom, you can like get over both of them with just one mushroom. There's a lot of time save. There's a lot of half pipes as well, which are always nice to have. Like I said, the entire course is anti-gravity, meaning that they added speed boosters to go faster in some of the slower parts. It's an amazing course. It also looks incredible. It is by
Yeah,
far the
it looks
only
really good.
I'm gonna say it is the only course in the entire booster course pass that looks like it could have been in the base game.
I would say
Like,
that and I would say the
no,
Mario Kart
I
what was it? The Rainbow Road from Mario Kart 3DS. That
hell
one
no.
looks
That still
that
looked a
one looks
little
really
low
good to me.
poly. For me, it's still no. The road itself looks really good. Like the texture they have on Rainbow Road looked amazing. But like the background objects in the one on Wii, nothing looks bad. Like they knew they had to get Rainbow Road on Wii right, and they did. They
Oh
did a
yeah, considering
fantastic
how that
job.
was the
It
last
is
console we
the
got before the HD consoles. So
It
yeah.
does, yeah, yeah. I was gonna say we have it in glorious HD, and they even added some of the fun details that people would have complained about, like falling off the course, you start to burn up.
Oh, that is a nice little interesting because I saw someone do that. I was like, "What the freak?" I don't remember it doing that. I was like, "What the
That's
heck?"
what it did in the Wii one. It always did that. It always like when you fell off the
Or
course,
maybe
you'd
or maybe it
burn
was
up in the
more so like
atmosphere.
thinking, because when you fall off on any course in 8, you don't get that effect. But
You
then seeing
don't.
it here, I was like, "Wait, what the heck?" That
Well,
looked a little different.
it's because it doesn't black out, so it was a lot easier to convey that. But
Yeah.
the fun part is that even though like the course itself is easier, you actually have more punishment for falling off. Because falling off on this course is a lot worse than falling off on any other course. Because you still have to wait for the animation of the burning up to finish.
Mm,
So you get really set back if you fall off on Rainbow Road once.
yeah.
It's a great course. It's by far the only way you could have ended the pass in a satisfying way. And I haven't even mentioned all the other stuff they added. They added 18 new Mii racing outfits. A lot of them have a unique trick animation for each outfit. It's kind of cool. The if you didn't see on Twitter, the cow one it shakes their ass.
Bruh.
I don't know
That's messed up.
why.
No,
It's
people get.
funny if you
Oh goodness, people
yeah,
get.
people will be using that one online, and they will
People will be
just be
getting
doing that the
thirsty
whole time.
on the internet. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, it was funny though. And then the characters, Funky Kong, great. Diddy
Hey,
Kong,
yo, we got
great.
some DK representation up in here. My boy Diddy and
Yeah.
Funky made the game.
And then Pauline is certainly a pick. She's good. She's fine. I like Pauline and all. She sings Jump Up Superstar when she like glides for some reason.
Oh yeah,
I,
I heard people say that, and I was like, huh.
I
I
don't
didn't
know.
play this her yet.
Her biker outfit looks really good though. I think she's a good addition to the roster. I'm glad she's here compared to if she wasn't. And then Peachette is here. And I don't give a shit about Peachette.
Peachette was kind of the
Literally
weird one. I don't know. I like
I
Petey Piranha. I
literally
like
could
how they
not
put
care.
him up in there. We got him and King Boo now, so feels like the old Double Dash days are back. So that's cool.
Yeah. But
But
yeah,
yeah,
Peachette makes no sense.
yeah, that's the only one that was kind of weird. But then when looked at this whole roster, I'm like, now looking at everything we have within the original as well as the DLC stuff now, we're actually to the point now where I think we have just as many characters in the game now as Mario Kart Wii. And I'm like,
Mario
oh, thank
Kart,
goodness. Because Mario
I
Kart Wii
think
had a ton of characters. And when I went to 8, I was like, wait, where did the characters go?
I think maybe I'm wrong. I think we have every single character from the Mario Kart Wii roster now. I think.
All the babies and
We
Petey
got
Piranha,
Birdo
Booze, Birdo,
because
Funky Kong, Diddy.
we were missing a lot, but now we have Funky Kong, Diddy Kong, we got Bowser Jr. in 8 Deluxe, and we also got Birdo and King Boo. We have everyone. Wait, is Dry Bones in? I don't think he is. Wait,
Thought
of
he
course, yeah, he
was.
is. I'm
Yeah, he is.
dumb.
Dry.
I'm
Yeah, we
dumb.
got Dry Bones and Dry Bowser. Yeah,
Oh wait,
all the cool ones.
Dry Bones was added in 8 Deluxe, right?
Oh, I think.
Eh, he probably was. Who
Wait,
knows?
or was he in Wii?
He wasn't we.
Yeah, so it's not
I'm
like he
saying he
got.
was also yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, but yeah, either way, every single character from Wii is now in 8 Deluxe. This is the biggest roster we've ever had in a mainline Mario Kart game ever. So as much as people can complain that they didn't get a character from Tour they wanted, this is still an amazing roster.
no, yeah, and I'm glad we finally came to a conclusion on this. I don't think we're gonna get any more DLC for Mario Kart 8 because I
No, we're
think
not.
now all the resources, considering now, I think we're tail end of the Switch now. Every little bit of resources, which I'm pretty sure Mario Kart 9 was probably already done at this point, though. Maybe
It
they're adding
is.
more stuff to it, though. But yeah, all focus for this team is going to be going to the next Mario Kart 9
I
or
think
Mario Kart
listen,
game.
I can't as much as I'd like to, Zard, I can't predict Nintendo. They revealed and released Mario Wonder in the span of 4 months.
I mean, they always like keeping their cards closer to the chest. The only things
That's what
they
I'm
play the
saying.
long game on is usually Legend of Zelda. But
But
yeah,
Mario Kart, they're not gonna play the long game on. You know
oh
what I
no,
mean?
not on that
They're
one.
gonna Zard, I'm calling it right now. Come back to this in here. They're going to reveal Mario Kart 9 at E3 next year, and they're going to release it that holiday. They will make so much goddamn money. It's not even funny.
I just know whenever the Mario Kart game comes out, it will be within the first year of that
I think
system's
it's a launch
launch.
title.
You
I
think it's
think it will be
launch?
a fucking launch title. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
I think it's gonna I think it's gonna be a launch title on whatever new system comes out. We'll see
I
though.
I would say probably not. I would say
Ooh,
like let's say if the
huh.
system comes out in September or November, I would say that Mario Kart will be like one of those games that happens to
I
be
got
like
you.
one of the first games around springtime of next year. Reason why I say that is because if we're going off the assumption that this console is still backwards compat, you can still sell that booster course for 8 deluxe and still
That's a good
resell
point.
that
Well, yeah,
game
that's a
for
good point.
however long for the next Switch's system is out.
But at the
That
same
sole
time,
reasoning alone, I think, is the reason why they won't rush the next one.
yeah, but at the same time, they definitely have like on Twitter they've been saying that even Nintendo on Twitter was like, "Hey, this is the conclusion to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Thank you for everyone who played. This game is not gonna have that many more years left as like the main Mario Kart."
That's what you think until they slap it on an actual another cartridge and say,
Uh,
now we got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Plus Plus with all the DLC actually on the cartridge.
I don't want them to do that. I just want them to start from scratch with the next Mario Kart. It's like the Smash Ultimate thing, where Smash Ultimate exists. You don't need to make Smash Ultimate Ultimate. Just make a new one.
Yeah. But I think we talked about Mario Kart long enough though. But
It's
honestly, yeah, we had to give our thoughts on this because it is an end of an era. It's almost been 10 years with us having this game. 10 years will
uh,
be next year.
yeah. Oh wait, one last thing I was going to mention is that
Mm,
I don't think they want this game dead yet, especially with how they added a room IDs finally,
oh gosh, yeah.
where you
That,
can
that's
you
crazy.
don't you can now just search for rooms without needing to be friends with everyone in the room.
No, yeah.
Like, or at
They
least
managed to do
yeah,
some good quality of life updates between that, the music player,
custom
the
items and
custom
emote.
items. I feel
There's
like I
some
was
other
missing one more
stuff.
thing,
They
but yeah.
changed the balancing on the game. They like
Oh, you can't
made nerfed.
sandbag up in the game no more.
That's a whole thing for another day, but they also nerfed some characters like Waluigi was really good for a while.
Dang, they did my boy
Yeah.
dirty.
Yeah, no, but overall, Mario Kart 8 deserves every single one of those 60 million copies it sold. Don't at me.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, it had a good run. It had a good run. All right. Now,
And
while
it's
we're
going
on
to
the topic
continue.
of
Yeah.
Nintendo stuff, we got some updated sales reports for the physical stuff for Nintendo. In terms of brand new stuff, Mario Wonder, we know it came out on October 20th, but within the span of 2 weeks, it actually managed to sell 4.3 million units, which is technically the biggest release for a Super Mario title. That's kind of crazy because I didn't think it
That
was going to be the
includes,
biggest, Super Mario title, period. Being out
was it two
Mario 3
weeks?
World. Yeah, that was 2 weeks.
Yeah. Think about it like this. Like they were very coy on using the Super Mario series because they know that Mario Kart outsells it very quickly.
Yeah. And
Like they
then,
said Super Mario, which you remember this, whenever they say Super Mario, they mean the main series of games.
yeah,
So
just
those
like,
first
yeah,
couple 2Ds,
they're talking about
64,
2D and 3D for Mario, basically.
yeah,
Yeah.
Galaxy, stuff like that. Even 3D World definitely counts in that, which I thought would have sold more in a smaller period. That's crazy. Odyssey was a smash hit. That game sold how many that game, yeah, Odyssey sold less copies in the same time, basically, they're saying, right?
Yeah.
And then Odyssey went on to sell like 26 million total. So I think Wonder's going to go on to sell like at least 20 million total.
It's
Obviously,
gonna I feel
Odyssey
like
is a
it's
big
gonna
3D game, but still.
I mean, that's the other thing too, because if they carry this over into the next system, it could easily be up to 30 million ish. I'm
Yeah,
I'm I'm saying the long game is gonna be around the 30s.
remember all those stupid people that said that 2D games weren't worth $60?
Oh, yeah, I
Remember
know,
that
because I made
whole
one of them videos.
conversation?
Yeah,
Yeah, no. That I'm done hearing that now. Mario Wonder proves that you can make a satisfying and fun game for $60 and it can be a 2D platformer.
yeah.
And I really hope that they don't do the exact same game again. I do not want them to make a Super Mario Bros. Wonder 2. I'm not,
Well,
I love this game, but just make a new one. Just move on to the next one.
yeah.
What
Well,
I would like to see is this stuff, like the Wonder stuff, incorporated into a Mario Kart stage, or just a Mario Kart game with like a Wonder mechanic that changes everything in the whole course every lap.
do that as like a third lap effect. Like you're doing
Yeah,
good on the first two, and then that third one that throws people for a loop. I could see that one actually. Be honest now.
like your cart's getting like cubes for wheels, and then like your controls get all rocky for the last lap.
Hmm.
Some you could do cool stuff with it.
Yeah, you really can. And then another one in terms of a fairly new release, Pikmin 4, it actually managed to
Hell
sell
yeah.
2.5 million units, surpassing the lifetime cumulative sell through of other Pikmin titles and quickly becoming the best selling title of the series. I guess it just goes to show that switch effect right there.
It's also huge in Japan. I think it did better in Japan than it did in the US. That game was huge. Like if we were just, I'm pretty sure Zard, if we were just counting only Japan, it probably was up there with like Mario and Zelda in like in the span of how many months it was, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Nintendo definitely will put more money into Pikmin now. And guess what? People love Pikmin's great. I don't know, you played Pikmin 4 obviously. It is a amazing game.
No, yeah, and it's funny because I think Pikmin 4 sold more than um well, well, okay. Well, we don't know when it's all said and
What?
done though, but it's close to Metroid Dread numbers, which is kind of
No,
funny. And I'm
Metroid
like, dang.
Dread's like around like 3 million, which I think Pikmin 4 will
No,
need a
it's
couple more
around.
months
I think no,
for.
because when they last reported on it, it was at 2.9 million, and
It's
I
at
feel like,
3.
or no, I mean
They've
official reporting was at 2.9. They never said three,
they've
which
put
is
it on
weird.
sale enough. They put it
I
on
know
like
it's probably at
$40
three, but
sales.
it's just weird how they only report on that one, and we'll never get it reported on again
Wait,
because
did
they
we
only report
ever
on stuff when it sells like a million units in a quarter at a minimum.
important question, did we get any news on Metroid Prime Remastered when that game came out or no?
Oh,
Does
and
it
how
even
many
show
copies
it
it
there?
sold?
Yeah.
Not that I can recall. No.
It doesn't show it on the Metroid page now. Alright.
Mm.
Yeah, but no, besides that, Pikmin 4 sold a lot. They showed that whole graph where like, just it was basically a graph saying Switch equals money. You know what I mean? Where it's like,
Oh
oh, the
yeah.
Mario series has grown this much on Switch compared to all the other systems.
Yeah, and then even when I was looking at some of these other statistics, it said like Nintendo accounts exceeded over 330 million at the end of
Yeah.
September. And I was like, wait. I was like, last time they reported on numbers for Switch consoles, it was at like 130-ish. I was like, what the freak? And then I reminded myself, you have to have an account to go into Super Nintendo World and do all of that
Really?
stuff with the arm bat or the wrist badges and all of that. I was like, oh, little things like that is
Well, not
accounting for
only
the
that,
extra accounts.
but remember, there are people that share, like, if there are people that do family plans, people that get multiple accounts for the same Switch.
Yeah, and that too. So it's a combination of those two things is kind of what set the number up a little higher.
Like,
And I didn't even
at least
think
for
about that.
at least for a basic income family, there is absolutely no reason to buy multiple kids and multiple Switches.
Unless you like them all playing at the same time, whatever game they want to do.
Yeah, but like that's something, like at least for most families, they'll get one Switch and there'll be one person that plays it mostly, and then some others that play it once in a while. Like, but yeah, Nintendo still on their A game sales wise. Isn't the Switch now at like 136 million sold, right?
Let me look at it
Or
right quick because, right, oh goodness. No, right now it's at 132.46 million, which I think last time they reported on it, which was about 3 months ago, it was at 128 or 129. So barely 3 million within the span of 3 months, I think.
huh?
So you can tell it's slowing down. So now I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, I don't know if it could actually outsell the PS2 now because it's kind of
Of
running
course
out of
it's
steam.
not.
Unless you're gonna discount the console before like the next console could come out,
I don't
or
know. I don't think it.
Nintendo could go on this little stretch right here. They could pull the same thing like the Game Boy Color era. Imagine if they did something like that, where it's like you have a more powerful system, but you're still recognizing it within the Switch family of systems.
Yeah.
If they do something like that, then yes, they technically
But
would
that would
beat
be
it. But
really
I don't know.
stretching it. That would kind of be pointless. Because let's be honest, even though the PS2 is the best-selling console of all time, it's more like the best-selling DVD player of all time.
I mean that literally that's what it was.
Well, yeah. So guess what? Even though the Switch, is the Switch now second best, or it's right behind the DS still?
Well, yeah, DS. So technically, if you consider everything, it's number three.
But here's the thing, though. There's so many revisions of the DS that I don't really count
I
those
mean, it was
all.
what DS, DS Lite, DSi. That's it.
there was also a DSi XL and
Well,
stupid
in
stuff
their
like that.
XL variants, yeah. But if you're just talking about like the stuff that changed the most, the OG Lite and the I.
Yeah, and then the original Fat DS, which I don't know if I mentioned. Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of different DSs, but like I think most of the Switch variants are very similar. Like it's like if anything, there's no difference. The Switch Lite is literally just a Switch that's handicapped. That's it. It's just a Switch that can't play in docked. There's no other difference to my knowledge. Can you think of one?
No, not really, but the form factor is a little better on it. Like whenever you're holding it in your hand, it feels better to
Eh,
hold a Switch Lite in your
well,
hand than a basic old
well,
regular Switch up in your
yeah.
hand.
Well,
That's
at least
about
with
it.
the OLED, there's actual improvements to its function and its screen. Wow,
Screen,
with the
storage
Switch Lite,
size,
with the
battery
Switch
life.
Lite,
Yeah.
it is literally the exact same thing as having a regular Nintendo Switch. If you just wanted a Switch and you don't have a TV, then you're good.
Mm.
It also feels more comfortable than a base Switch because it's not like the Joy Cons feel very uncomfortable compared to the Switch Lite. But yeah,
Yeah. I think there's
this
only a
this
couple more things to talk about in terms of like the
yeah,
sales stuff. It's like the top 10. So we'll go ahead and run through these real quick here. You got Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe at like 16.7 million units.
Jesus,
I know. Tears of the Kingdom, that's at 19.5, almost at 20 million right
it
now.
slowed down a lot. A lot less people bought Tears of the Kingdom once the hype cycle was over.
Yeah, that is true. But then again, it hadn't had its first holiday season. So I imagine you could sell at least 3 million off of the holiday alone. So we'll see. Super Mario Party at 19.66. Scarlet and Violet at 23.23 million units. Then you got Sword and Shield at 26.02 million units.
Jesus
I
Christ.
don't think Scarlet and Violet is going to manage to pass Sword and Shield. I don't think in most Pokemon games, whatever game comes out on the system first is the one that's the higher selling one, just because of time. Super Mario Odyssey coming in at number 5 at 26.95, close to 27. Breath of the Wild at 31.15 million. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate at 32.44 at the number
That
3 spot.
surprises me that it's at number 3. Like especially because fighting games are a bit more niche than like something like Mario Odyssey.
But you forget that this is Nintendo we're talking about. So of course it's gotta be that high.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
Then you have Animal Crossing New Horizons coming in at 43.38 million units. And lastly, you have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that can't be stopped. The King of All Kings coming in at 57.01 million units. I'll go dare to say this. By the time that we hit the end of the Switch's life, when the successor will come on the scene, let's say I feel like it's going to be at 64.
I
Like,
think it's just gonna.
Mario Kart 64. It's going to
I
be at like
think
64 million units. And that's before the new system comes out. And I know
I
it's
think it
pretty,
will
you
be at
might sell more than
60.
that.
I
You
think
say
60
60?
is where it stops because I think it will tremendously slow down now that the booster course pass is over. But at the same time, I really hope, and they're not gonna do this. I really hope they just sell a physical version that has the booster course pass on the cart.
It'll be nice if they do that, but I don't know if they will.
I don't know. Breath of the Wild did that in Japan. Splatoon 2 also did that. I'm pretty sure in Japan. Pokemon does it. Especially for a game as big as Mario Kart and has sold as much as Mario Kart, it would be nice to have the true ultimate version of that game preserved physically. Because,
That
like,
is true. Yeah, because
I don't
all
know.
those digital games could get lost to time, and that'd be a little bit unfortunate.
And also, let's just say they sold that for like $50. Like, imagine if they sold Mario Kart 8 with all of its DLC for $50. Like that would be a very good Black Friday deal for like next year. You know,
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
people buying their new Switch 2 and having a fully featured Mario Kart game with 96 courses in it. that's like, let's just say, I don't know. It's like the same argument, like people said, why even make a new 2D Mario game since when New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe sold so well? As long as it's different enough, people will buy it.
Yeah, I think so. But
We'll
I
see.
think I think outside of that, that's pretty much it in terms of most of the important sales related things that was in that fiscal report. I mean, you did manage to get 38 million members that are in the online service, whether it be the basic tier or the expansion pass tier.
A lot
Which,
of people got some free money from Nintendo.
yeah, so I think that's like roughly close to 20-ish% of users that have a Switch have the online service though. But the most interesting thing, and this will lead into our next topic and our last gaming news topic of the night, within all of those series of tweets and stuff like that, and messages, there was one reply tweet up on there that literally said, "This is Miyamoto," and I'm like, "Wait, what the freak is this?" And yes, I'm
Uh,
talking about the announcement that he's been working on for years that there is going to be a Legend of Zelda movie. It's been kicked around in the rumor mill for a while. People were thinking maybe we'll get a Donkey Kong movie next, but it's gonna be Legend of Zelda. But the interesting thing about this one is it's a live action one.
I just thought we were gonna get the next Mario movie first,
I thought it was gonna be
personally.
something else before the next Mario movie. I'm pretty sure, considering how the sales in the Mario movie is, we're gonna get a sequel to it. But I was
Of
thinking we
course
were
we
gonna get.
will.
I thought we were gonna get something else first that they probably were working simultaneously on.
Uh,
I could see Nintendo. Nintendo's been on this fix where and they've been talking about it in their reports like they want to be more than just obviously just gaming in general. They want to impact people's lives via all these tournaments,
they
Nintendo
don't
World
know.
itself. They got the movie itself,
Uh,
so there's a lot of different things they're doing outside of just games themselves.
I agree with you about the movie, but they don't care about tournaments at all.
I said I mentioned like in terms of tournaments, I meant Nintendo Live, their stuff,
Yeah,
not
yeah. Have you
necessarily what
seen?
fans have done. I've seen
Yeah,
that. I've seen that. Yeah.
it's funny, is what it is. No, but I agree. Like it's, oh boy, the Zelda movie. As much as people don't want it, they will cast Tom Holland. It's inevitable.
Gosh dang it! Please no. Oh
I don't
goodness.
want it, but it's what people deserve.
I mean, that dude's been in too many movies as it has been already. I think he's been in the Uncharted movies for Sony and them. So I'm like, bruh.
Yeah,
But yeah, I just want to hear your thoughts on this because for those listening to this podcast, you kind of already have an idea what my next Friday video will be. But I kind of want to hear your thoughts on this one, Steven, while I got you here.
I was gonna say that they need an actual good budget to make the CGI look good, but this is Nintendo, so I'm pretty sure they'll put into work to make it look good, at least.
I mean, Sony
I think,
Pictures is the ones that's kind of helping back Nintendo on this one, though. So you can kind of look at some of their past projects, and that's kind of the CGI level we could probably expect up in
yeah,
this one.
I
As
think,
long as we can see a good looking bokoblin up in here, and it
yeah,
doesn't look
here,
like kind of weird, freaky abomination or something. I don't know. Then I'm
Alright,
okay.
so here are my thoughts. I think Zelda of all franchises has the most potential to work in live action. Obviously, it would look better in like everyone was saying it should be like a Studio Ghibli like hand drawn thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I do think would look better, but let's be honest, Nintendo wants to make money. They're not gonna make a lot of money with a 2D animated movie nowadays. As much as I hate to say that.
Yeah.
Something more in like the Puss in Boots Last Wish style would be great for Zelda. With its like painted like art aesthetic. God, something like that would be great for Zelda, but live action is the way they're taking. I'm kind of worried though, because I don't know if you know the guy Avi Arad. I swore, like, especially because you're a Spider-Man fan, I thought you'd already know his name. Have you heard of him before this?
I hadn't heard of the name, but I am familiar with the works. When I started doing my digging for that video I had posted on Friday, I was like, I'm actually well acquainted with a lot of his work
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't. You probably don't know this. People in the Spider-Man community do not like him.
because of what he did with Spider-Man 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he kind of meddled with that movie a lot, and he also is responsible for like stuff like Morbius, like some of the decisions made in that. Basically, any problems with those movies on the executive level, like forcing the Vulture like stuff into Morbius, is usually somewhat he's somewhat responsible for that. And also, the director of the movie worked on like the Jurassic World movies that came out recently, so it's a little
Mhm.
bit of a mixed bag. Now, this one's really funny. Apparently, the guy who's writing the script wrote one of the most stupid lines in all of fiction. Somehow Palpatine returned from Star Wars, which I
Oh,
don't know if you've probably heard that line somewhere.
no, I have not.
You haven't, but it's in the newest Star Wars. It's in the like the final Star Wars movie, where basically the main villain just comes back to life, and they just say somehow he returned.
Somehow,
No,
bro.
yeah, somehow. Like very very amazing writing on their part, but I don't know. People are kind of worried about the writing and the script, saying that even if it looks the part, it might still suck. I think it will be okay, just like every other video game movie that's come out recently. The Mario movie looks amazing, but the writing is just okay. The FNAF movie looks really good, but the writing is just okay. It's not
I
I
need
think it's
I
a
need
good
to sit down. I've been saying this multiple times every time we talk about a video game adaptation, whether it be a movie show or something. I need to sit down and pen to paper and just go ahead and make this video. Every single video game adaptation we have gotten since Detective Pikachu has busted the box office, because that was literally the spark to the flame on everything. And since then, we just been having a onslaught of everything. We had all the Sonic movies come, the Mario stuff, there's Uncharted stuff here, Resident Evil stuff here, even a Monster Hunter film, even that didn't even do good.
That's not good.
Mortal
It's not
Kombat
good.
and stuff like that. Now we got this Legend of Zelda thing over here, though. Five Nights at Freddy's. The list goes on and on and on.
Yeah, and
And I'm
Five
like,
Nights at
I just need
Freddy's
to
is
sit down and
getting a sequel
do all
too.
that.
Five Nights at Freddy's, which this is not I'm not going to talk about this for long. It blew up the box office on its own. Like that movie already made back 10 times its budget, Zard.
Yeah, which it was kind of funny because I saw the Rotten Tomatoes up on it. I know that the critic wise it was trash, but all the fans loved it, which is kind of the way how most of that stuff kind of goes.
It's not that great of a movie.
Oh, you didn't really like it? Oh, okay.
No, I loved it, but like
Oh,
talking from a critical point of view, no, it's not that good.
oh, okay. I
I thought
got
it
you.
was really funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
It looks great. It's really funny. It's not an actual good, well written movie, but I got what I wanted out of it.
Hmm.
I'm just I'm willing to be honest about it. Um, but yeah, about the Zelda movie, I trust Nintendo to keep a good eye on them and make sure they don't do anything stupid. I don't think it's gonna turn out like I don't think it's gonna turn out terrible. I think everything will look really nice. I think like as long as it looks nice, like I don't have a problem with sitting in the movie theaters and watching it.
Yeah, I think Miyamoto is gonna have the right direction on it in terms of like atmosphere, setting, characters, and all of that. But with it being a Legend of Zelda game or Legend of Zelda franchise, the story has to be better than way obviously way better than what we got within like the Mario movie or whatnot. Because Legend of Zelda series is
You'd
built
hope so.
upon that
But like
adventure aesthetic and stuff.
yeah,
So
but like
that has to come down to a T. And the fact
what
that
would they focus
Miyamoto's
on?
looking, oh, say what?
What do you think they'd focus on? Do you think they'd still focus on like finding like pieces of a Triforce or
I
this and
think
that?
Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf are going to be in the story somehow, some way. They're probably incorporate the Triforce in there some kind of way. I don't know whether or not
Yeah.
how heavily or if they touch it at all.
Yeah.
Time travel aspect because we know how time travel is with Legend of
I
Zelda.
think they're gonna keep it relatively simple, and they're just gonna involve the Master Sword and the Triforce as like the only magical relic objects. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're
You're
gonna
not
keep it
gonna
simple
have
enough where kids can understand it, but not lose it.
yeah.
But have Easter eggs all around the place for all those Legend of Zelda junkies out there that are gonna be able to pick this thing apart for all the Easter eggs and stuff. But
Yeah,
yeah,
like start it with like Ganon, capturing Princess Zelda, and then like slowly reveal how like each of them has a piece of the Triforce, and like make it like some kind of tense moment where like Ganon is actually leading Link into a trap to collect this Triforce piece. You know what I mean? And then
yeah,
like I've been waiting for you to come here, Link, so I can take what is mine. Blah 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 blah, and then have the movie end with a big Ganon fight,
yeah.
which
Hey,
oh
but hey,
like
slowly but surely, Steven, we're building a universe over here.
it's
Like
no, they're not.
we're getting our way
No,
over
they
here.
ain't.
Master Hand is gonna summon them all up into a Smash Brothers fight. You're gonna have
I don't.
CG Mario over here,
I don't
CGI
want that.
Mario over
I.
here
j-
with Tom Holland Link. We're gonna be fighting the big. I'm sorry.
I don't know
No, that's
about you,
not
but
gonna
I
be true at
really
all. But that
we
would have been
don't need
weird.
that.
We
I
don't
don't
need
want
it, but
that.
I just had to have fun with it. But
Yeah,
it would
no,
be
I just
cool if I'm just saying it would have been cool if I think it only would have worked if there were all animated properties.
if
It would have been the
no,
only way how you could have did a Smash Brothers thing. But I don't
I don't
know.
know. You could do some stupid like Who Framed Roger Rabbit shit, but it wouldn't look good
It wouldn't
in
look good,
this.
but it'd probably be
It would
funny.
not. Like Roger Rabbit looks good because like they took a lot of time in the thinking on how everything would go together. While like Sonic movie, I like the Sonic movies, but half the time it doesn't feel like he's actually there.
Yeah,
Like it just still feels like it's a CG animal plastered into these environments. Well, um, yeah. So there's been movies that have done it better.
yeah.
Sonic movie out of all video game adaptations, I still think Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is probably the best one.
Oh no, that's my. I think out of
Specifically the
all of
second
them,
one.
I think it is my favorite one too.
Like
Yeah.
it exudes that energy that I would go to see a Sonic movie to see. Like
Hmm.
the only thing I don't like is that scene where they're in the bar and they have like a dance off for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
I
Zelda
think that's.
movie,
Oh,
yeah,
go ahead.
pretty good. A pretty good hopes, honestly. A lot of people are like doom and gloom about it, but like I after the Mario movie, I do have a certain amount of trust in Nintendo that they won't let Sony fuck it up too bad.
No, I think it's gonna be solid. It's gonna be like on the same level as the Mario movie in terms of expectations, the box office numbers, and all of that. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. Obviously, this is gonna affect more so that mid-age audience and higher versus just all straight kids. Yes, you're gonna get kids still at this thing, but it ain't gonna be like at the theaters where we walked up in there. I remember my audience, and there was like crap ton of kids. So I actually will respect it for that regard, where we're not gonna get that many kids up in this one or nearly as much as like the Mario movie, so I can actually enjoy the film a little bit better when I'm there in person though. But I
Yeah.
think nonetheless, I think the success of this is still gonna be good. I think it's gonna be really solid, and I think it's gonna be really enjoyable though. But I have more thoughts on this, but if you want to hear my thoughts, stay tuned to Friday. You'll get my full thoughts of everything I thought about this announcement though. But this is just kind of a little bit of a preview of what you can kind of expect though. But honestly, really cool. Wasn't expecting Miyamoto just to come out and say this though, but nonetheless, I'm very excited for the future though. But I think basically does it in terms of all the topics that I had here for tonight. I did kind of wanted to talk about Mario Wonder as well as Spider-Man 2, but I'm gonna have to say that for another episode because shoot, I'm looking at the
Dude,
time here, Steven, and we're already at 2 hours and 20 minutes on this
I know.
podcast.
I could talk about Mario Wonder for another 5 hours if you fucking whale me up and let me keep
Bruh.
going. You know
We're
I could.
almost going to hit this point where there's going to be no news to talk about. And I guess once we hit that
I
point, then it's going to
I
be like, well, whatever. Then we can talk about whatever. But
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, no, we're gonna in I think in December after Mario RPG's said and done with, there's not gonna be much to look forward to. At
yeah.
least for a bit.
Yeah, at least for a bit. So we might be able to hit that topic next podcast
Yeah,
episode because
but to
next
keep it
podcast
brief,
episode will be before the Game Awards. The one after it will be after the Game Awards. So,
yeah,
yeah.
to keep it brief, only in case we don't get to the topic. Spider-Man 2, I have not played yet, so I'll probably talk about it next time once I have played it. And Mario Wonder's a 10 out of 10.
Alrighty. Well, I think that just about does it in terms of all of the topics that we have here for tonight, which, that was a lot of stuff we went through and talked, which, gosh by golly, that's what happens when you wind up missing an episode on a bi-weekly podcast, though. But
I was
nonetheless,
on
I thought it was,
vacation, so yeah, I missed more.
yeah. So nonetheless, though, I think it was really solid. Um, a lot of good news and stuff, a lot of good exciting stuff to come up towards the holidays. I think we'll talk about it within the next podcast episode once we kind of get closer to the holiday season and stuff, Black Friday deals or cyber shopping and all of that. We'll point out some good stuff to kind of keep y'all eyes on if you're like looking out for gifts for friends and family or stuff that you just want to hook yourself up with. We got you covered over here though. But that's gonna basically do it in terms of my ZardCast episode 66. So Stephen, let the fine people know where they can find you at.
You could find me on Twitter at Steven Jr. 1231. I am currently editing. I like editing videos and drawing thumbnails for like some like friends of mine have a channel. It's called Spaghetti Disco. It's at like 100 subscribers. If you guys subscribed, I'd really appreciate it. We're trying to grow it a bit. Just we mostly do like let's play content over there,
All
while over
right. So
here is more like discussion content.
yeah, so you heard it from them. If you're into the gameplay and stuff, you can check them out though. Good people over there. Um, yeah, because shoot, I hadn't even mentioned it here. I'll probably bring it up in more details in some future podcasts though. Like I said about Let's Plays and stuff, I need to get back to my streaming schedule though. But once I get all this work done and planned out for the month
Yeah,
of December and some of these November stuff, December, once all my work is done, that's like my chill month at that point where I just either stream, whether it be the podcast episodes or streaming games. I usually
yeah.
have more time to myself though. So
At
I'm trying to
least
get
for
this last little
me,
bit of workout for y'all so I can enjoy my time.
yeah, at least for me, I've been trying to put more work into like doing stuff for that channel, only because I really want to get good practice at editing videos. I already edited like a full video for that channel, like a 25-minute video, edited and everything,
Hmm.
and it was fun. Like it was like my first like actual editing project. So I'm definitely gonna do more stuff like that. Obviously, for you, you've done it a lot, but for like doing it for the first time, it was certainly a good learning experience.
No, yeah, it's always about that experience, man. Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Well,
fun though.
I think that's gonna basically do it for this episode right here, though. So, if you happen to really like this podcast episode, make sure to go and hit that like button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and that bell. That way, you can stay up to date on all things video game related. I feel like talking about and discussing, or pop culture stuff as well when it comes to my podcast episodes and stuff. I usually go live, streaming these podcast episodes 9 p.m. Central Standard Time or 7 p.m. Pacific Time on every other Sunday night. That's usually the gist of it, though. But you can look in the description notes or in the show notes below, and that can link you to my ZardCast Twitter account where I usually give you updates in case like I happen to miss an episode, like what I did the last episode that should have aired a couple weeks ago. I keep you all updated on that Twitter account right there. If you happen to be one of the audio only listeners or whatnot, or if you want to listen to the audio only version and not just only the YouTube version, yes, you can find me on Apple, Google, good gracious, I'm blanking now. Apple, Google, Spotify. You can even listen to me on the iHeartRadio itself, or if you happen to have the Podbean app, that's literally like my podcast home where you can actually watch any or listen to any of my podcast episodes over there, though. But no matter where you're listening to me at, make sure to just give a like or review if you're able to, and just leave a comment if you're watching the video side of things. Any thoughts on what we've basically gone through and talked about in this episode, though. So that's gonna basically do it for this episode, though. So remember, y'all, until our video I make next, and until my next Zarcast episode 67, I'll see y'all later.